Tropical Country is brought to you by JBL Travel Group, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio. When planning your next getaway, trust Joe Leo and his staff to make the most of your budget and design the perfect getaway. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resort, destination weddings, and much, much more. JBL Travel Group is only one phone call away, so give them a call at 732-831-5200. It doesn't cost you any extra, so why wouldn't you? Goaltending Services, GTS Charters in Key West, Florida. They offer unique, private, custom charters you can choose from: 4-hour, 6-hour, half-day, or even full-day excursions. Plus, they will provide you with all the amenities that you need while out on the water. But before you get on the boat, make sure you visit GTS Outfitters. GTS Outfitters is Goaltending Services retail store. They have everything you're going to need for your day out on the water. You can grab drinks, snacks, as well as get your GTS merchandise and souvenirs from local Key West artists. GTS Outfitters is located above the Hurricane Hole restaurant at the dock. For more information about charters or the Outfitter store, give them a call at 305-916-0990. Also brought to you by Party Dog Entertainment. Party Dog Entertainment is B-Dawg and Lou's event DJ service. They offer a customized DJ experience. They will work with you to create a custom playlist for your event, regardless if you have a graduation, a wedding, birthday party. It doesn't matter what the occasion. B-Dawg and Lou will create the perfect playlist for your event. B-Dawg and Lou are always the life of the party and will make sure that your group stays engaged and has a great time. Party Dog Entertainment is located in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but B-Dawg and Lou will travel to your event within a reasonable distance. For more information, give them a call, 423-847-2454, or email at partydogentertainment@gmail.com. Party Dog Entertainment, it's a howling good time. Tropical Country is broadcasting live on TikiManRadio.com, the free Tiki Man Radio app, and the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel, courtesy of the MFG Records Tropical Live Cam. MFG Records, music for grown-ups.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Hump Day!
There's a party going on around town. It's one rowdy cowboy throwdown here in H-Town, where we're stronger than a hurricane. From miles around, the best of the best come here to put their tough to the test. Give it all for gold or go home broke when they open up that gate. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show. It's a Houston tradition, 4-H, FFA, and go Texan. And you can bet, son, it's gonna be around a long, long time. When these riders and ropers give it their best, we'll show them how loud the hometown crowd can get. 'Cause tonight, y'all, we all got a little bit of cowboy deep inside. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Where the Bayou City streets meet these country roads. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night. Welcome to Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou right here on Tiki Man Radio. And just like that, my camera's already messed up.
Uh-oh.
How about that? Hold on. Boom. There
you go.
Best thing I've ever bought. When they work right.
other than our wagon.
The wagon is the best thing we've ever bought. But, hey, welcome to the show. We are going to have a great show. I am B-Dawg, and she is Lou.
Hi, guys.
And the guy right there in the center is the man of the hour, the guest, Mr. Jurgensmeyer. Now, did I pronounce that right?
You did. You nailed
All right. Because
We've been practicing.
I'm glad.
I have a tendency to just destroy names. So
It throws people for a loop. 12 letters and people get lost about letter 5. So
Right?
It happens.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to check the spelling like 4 or 5 times. Okay, I didn't. Yeah.
Anytime
Okay.
I tell people, you see it on the mug that you got over there. Anytime I tell people, I'm like, just type in jet like a plane, 1 T, and if you put a J after, I'll typically, there's not a bunch of Jet Jurgensmeyers out there, so I'll typically.
Oh, that's true.
That is true. It popped right up when I started searching everything.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So everybody, you may know Jet. He's a familiar face. I'm going to tell you what.
He's been everywhere.
He has done more in the 19 years he's been alive than most of us will probably ever do in our lifetime.
Right?
And I am just so I'm fascinated.
Thank you.
But you may recognize him from TV, movies. You pretty much have kind of done it all.
TV, movies, music.
Voiceover work?
Voiceovers, yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't really done?
Oh boy, I haven't been a rodeo clown yet. That's on the bucket list. I want to fight a bull at least once in my life and see how that goes.
Well, you're getting ready to go elk hunting. So,
I am. Yes, ma'am.
So maybe the next thing on the list can be the bull.
Bullfighting.
There you go.
I think that's typically the jump that bullfighters make: elk hunt, bullfight, all of the above.
Sure, why not?
Right?
Why not?
That checks out.
I'll tell you, my kids, I had them hooked whenever I said that you were on Grey's Anatomy.
Everybody always.
They're like, what?
Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy and CSI, people are always
Yes.
so amazed by. I was like, I was on an episode when I was like 5 or 6, and people are always so. What season? I was like, I don't know. Go back 14 years. You tell me. 15 years.
Look at the
I don't know.
Wikipedia. It'll tell
Yeah,
you.
there you go. There you go.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was hooked to The Last Man Standing.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I can relate to the show
Thank you so much.
because in case she hasn't told you, between the two, we have 6 daughters.
Oh my.
So
Yes.
we are that show times 2.
We're the
guys have
all-female
the all-female Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I could relate to it. So I'm well familiar with you from when you were just a little lad.
6. My parents had me, and they were like, "God, we're not doing that again. He's enough. Stop there." And that was the best decision ever.
Right?
Wow.
That's awesome.
So I guess the question is what got you into acting at such a young age?
So, really, it all started. I always say when you're from Nashville, you're going to be involved in entertainment in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And for me, actually, music technically came first. My parents used to own a restaurant in Nashville that I essentially grew up in.
Is
And
that the
the Nashville Palace?
Nashville Palace?
And
We
so,
love
Really?
that place.
So-
Yeah, they used to own it.
Oh,
There's still
wow.
a picture of me on the wall in there. When you go in there, I'm wearing a tuxedo for no reason. I'm wearing a tuxedo. I'm like 4 or 5. I started getting on stage there when I was 3, and I started
Wow.
singing and performing. Just kind of fell in love with entertaining and being in front of people. Got my first ever standing ovation there. I'll never forget.
Oh, wow.
Guy stood up with a lighter. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And when I was 4, we were very close friends with the Mandrell sisters, Barbara, Louise, Erlene.
Oh.
They're my aunts. I call them my aunts.
Wow. Okay.
And so their mother, Mary Mandrell, is the one that said to my parents, why don't you all try acting with him? They had a friend who is still my agent in Nashville to this day, Mark Block. Met him when I was 4, started acting in Nashville when I was 5, started going out to LA, and then it all just kind of snowballed. Started doing voiceover work for everybody, doing live action stuff, Grey's Anatomy, CSI. And just it all kept going. And I really kind of took a break from music, if you will. My parents sold the palace when I was 8,
Okay.
And so I actually haven't been back in there since I was 8. I plan on going
Oh,
in the
wow.
next couple of months because I'm like, I had so many birthday parties. I had my kindergarten graduation in the back room there.
Oh, my
Like,
gosh.
So that I want to go back there. But that's
Kind of
where
be
it
a
all
full
started.
circle moment to go in there and perform.
Exactly. Actually, I should probably work on that. I think
I was
we
going to
still know
say,
the owners.
you can work
You
that.
should probably work on that.
Work
We are-
that angle.
We're starting our tour next month with my band, so I
Oh,
might have
there
to.
you go.
I might have to be like, hey, can we come to the Palace? And
That's
play?
right.
Yeah.
We got it.
Like, my parents used to own this joint.
There you go.
This is the first place I ever played.
There you go. It is.
Yeah.
And so I fell in love with acting and started spending a lot of time in California, and really bounced between California, Missouri, and Tennessee. And so the Missouri and Tennessee always kept me grounded. My family's in Missouri, so I grew up going to the farm, working on the farm, riding horses, working cattle, hunting, fishing, doing all that southern Midwest boy things. And then just kept doing acting. And when I was about 10 or 11, my parents bought me kind of my first nice guitar. And I started working on the guitar again, started writing songs. Terrible, but half the songs we write are terrible. The ideas were there, but if you go back and listen to them, it's like I played these in public for people. Like at one point, I was proud of these. Oh my!
Well, that's called the evolution of an
100%.
artist. You know?
Yeah.
And now, I'm releasing next month my 3rd studio album, and I have written all the songs on it. So
Very
That's
cool.
amazing.
that's how it's
That was going to be my
works.
question. You write your own material.
Yes, I do. That was my goal for the last album. I wrote every song on that album. The goal for this album, along with writing all of them, each album I plan to add a different goal. And as I progress through my career, it'll just keep getting more challenging. So the last album was being a part of writing all the songs. This one was being there for the mixing of all the songs, which was really important for me. People don't realize a lot of artists, 1, don't write all their material, and 2, they're not there for when the songs are getting mixed. And that was important for me, not to micromanage, but if I'm going to sell these songs on stage to the audience, they're all stories that I've been through.
Right.
I've got to be able to explain to them the whole process if I'm asked about it. And I have to actually know the work that went into EQing the drums and how much an hour and a half spent on that alone. And then we work on the bass and just keep going. And if I wasn't there for that, I wouldn't know what went into it and have the appreciation for it.
And I'll tell you, our listeners know that I used to manage a country artist, and when we would go into the recording studio, that was my favorite part.
Best
was
thing in the world.
Yes, not just listening to him sing his part, but to watch the musicians come in and basically write the songs while they're in there.
The most fascinating thing that nobody that just listens to music realizes is you can go in with the crappiest work tape, not even a demo,
Yes.
work tape of you recording it, not knowing half the lyrics to the song.
Yes.
And those musicians can make they make the album.
Yeah.
They make the record, and it's the
They
most
just
amazing
write the
thing
music
ever.
while they're there. It's the coolest thing. And then, like you said, to sit behind the board and watch them mix things, and that was my favorite part of the whole process.
And you have to have that comfortability with the engineer who's helping you produce it, because he knows how to talk to the musicians. The guy I work with, Dan Frizzell, he's mixed all of my songs, literally since my first album. Since he's worked with me since I was 11 or 12, so he's known me since the start. And he and I have that friendship and that comfortability with one another that I can say, hey, can Jeff, can he play this guitar part a little bit differently? Oh, can we get Rojas to play this little piano thing? And he knows how to tell them that.
Right.
And I wouldn't have that relationship with him and be able to have that, because a lot of my ideas probably sound stupid if I'm being completely honest. But he knows how to make it sound good.
Right,
And so
right.
that if I wasn't comfortable with him, then I wouldn't be as open to throwing out those crappy ideas in order for it to turn into a good one.
And for him to know you well enough to interpret what you're saying, because
Absolutely.
like you said, we can say it, but it's like its own little language going on over there. So
Absolutely. And it was really important. I'm a very loyal person, so it was important for me to be able to work with him from the start. I mean, he's amazing
cool.
at his job, and I've started out recording at his studio that he used to own, and now I go to his house and we mix the songs. We mix this entire album at his house. It's so fun. I love it. That's the storytelling portion. I consider that part of the storytelling portion of the song.
Yeah.
It all starts with the writing process.
Right.
Goes to the studio to record it, and then it's getting mixed, and then it goes to me actually playing it in front of people. That's the whole evolution of the story of the song. Experiencing it, writing it, recording it, mixing, performing.
I love that.
And you've definitely been learning it from the ground up.
100%.
From,
I grew up in it.
Yeah.
My parents were in the industry, and so like I said, Nashville's the place to get involved with it. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like when you go out to California, your waitress is probably a phenomenal actress. If you go to Nashville and your waiter is he's probably released a couple albums himself.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
The first time that I ever went to Nashville, I'd always heard that, but didn't know much, and was sitting in the second fiddle.
There you go.
And we just sitting there, and the bartender walks up to me, and he just started talking. Says, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from a little town. You've probably never heard of it or whatever." And he goes, "Give me a try." And so I said it. He goes, "I've heard of it. I've been there." He's, "I played your county fair."
What?
And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I was the drummer for Steve Holy. We played your."
That's amazing.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Seriously?" And he
That happens.
And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Wow." And he's like, so we just got it talking.
That's amazing.
And then he was like, so what do you think of the house band tonight? And I'm like, "These guys are really good." And he goes, "Well, they should be. The keyboardist plays for Brooks and Dunn. The lead guitarist and vocalist plays with Tanya Tucker. And all these guys are traveling musicians with, big name artists." And I'm like, "And they're playing here on a bar on a Wednesday night." And he's like, "Yeah."
I mean, you can go downtown to Broadway, and every now and again, you'll get a lot of the Opry House Band playing
Oh, really?
down on Broadway. That's so cool for me because I play on Broadway. I
Yeah.
play in those bars. So to be seeing that the Opry Band is still performing in those bars
That
just
is
because they have
cool.
the love of the craft.
Yeah.
It's so neat. I mean, to add on to what you were saying, a few years ago, we were at a steakhouse for my dad's birthday. Our waiter brought out his dessert for his birthday and was a Broadway performer.
Oh, wow.
At one point in his life, and broke out into the most phenomenal happy birthday I've ever heard.
Really?
I was like, what just happened? It was like this guy that you never would have imagined was a singer, and then he had this amazing Broadway voice. I was like, this is great. Only in Nashville would you find that.
Exactly,
Only
yeah.
there is it ever possible to run into something like that. And it's so neat. I mean, I love, the ground up. It's so fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's the one thing I liked about that Nashville was it's just so unpredictable because you can just be anywhere, just minding your own business, and then something amazing happens that you never anticipated.
I've made some of my closest friends, colleagues, and people that I work with, just in the industry in general, by whether I was performing a 30-minute set at a restaurant and then just happened to be walking by their table.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out. Hey, I saw you singing along to that song. Thank you so much. And then you get in a conversation with them. Oh, well, they work for some big
Yeah.
label or something or agency, and then they want to set you up with some of their writers. That's happened to me. And it's just organic and how that it's so unpredictable.
It is just the right place at the right time with the right people.
I met one of my best friends, my drummer, at a church that I'd never been to. I went for one of their big worship nights, and it was his first time going there as well.
Oh,
and
wow.
I happened to meet him. And then before you know it, he's one of my best friends, had just moved there from San Diego.
Wow.
And now he's my drummer, and we're going on tour next month.
That's so
I've
cool.
known him for over a year now. Justin, if you're watching, what's up, man? it's so awesome how that can happen.
Well, the right people come into your path at the right time.
Absolutely.
So evidently,
I'm
it
a
was
firm
known
believer
that
in
you were going to need a drummer.
Absolutely. That's happened multiple times in my life, and just people coming into your life at the right moment. It's pretty cool how that happens.
Yeah.
God's got a plan for everything.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that 100%.
Oh yeah, everybody has a season, and sometimes those friends are only there for a season, and then they move on.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it hurts because somebody that you get close to is gone, but they were only meant to be there for that
And
season.
they made you who you are. A part
Absolutely.
of them shaped you.
Absolutely.
good or bad.
All those hardships, everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Oh, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and some of your songs are about some hardship. Aren't
Absolutely. I said that about the last album. I said every one of the songs was either something myself or one of my co-writers had been through, was going through, all of that. And then as I've gotten older, this coming album, all of them are me. And it was me being able to be vulnerable with the listeners and being able to write about things I've been through, whatever I'm going through, whatever's on my mind. One of the songs I put that's on the bottom of the album, I wrote by myself. I never write by myself. I never use it as like a venting method, but I did. And it just so happened to be one that turned out decent enough that we decided to put it on the album.
Wow.
And it's one of those things that you never expect. But it's me being able to be vulnerable and be just raw and authentic with the listeners.
And it takes a lot to put yourself out there like that and to be that vulnerable as well.
100%. And it's the whole thing of wanting to, if I'm going to perform these songs for people and wanting them to believe it, well, then I have to have believed it.
Right.
And I'm just a guy that gets to write songs and perform them for a living. I'm just a normal dude, though. So if I'm just a normal dude going through something, there's somebody else out there that's been through that same thing. So I just want to feel a little bit less alone.
That's cool. And coming from, I'm going to sound a little sexist here, but coming from a guy.
Absolutely. I know what you mean.
You know, because guys, y'all think you're macho and, you know, you don't talk about things.
100%. I know what you mean.
You know, I was raised by,
We bottle things up.
listen,
If you stuff it down far enough, it won't come out, right?
I'm
That is
just
true.
saying. So, yeah, coming from like the old school daddy who was, you know, the veteran and the policeman and then I married his twin, I think. And you know, you're a country boy, so you're a lot the same way, I'm sure. And so coming from a guy to make yourself that vulnerable is kind of rare, I think.
It's a really cool thing. And like I said, we're all just normal people that experience, 90% of us experience the same things in life.
Absolutely.
Whether it's heartbreak, loss, ups and downs, all that good stuff. We all experience it at some point.
Right.
So being able to make those people just kind of sit back and be like, oh, I remember. Oh, yeah, I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys remember when we did that? You all have those moments.
Yep.
And it gives you a chance to relate to your friends around you. You're like, man, you guys should go listen to this. You should listen to this album, July 12th. Go listen to it. And you can grow your friendships that way as well.
Yeah.
Music is a phenomenal thing.
It is.
It absolutely is.
July 12th, the new album comes
July
out.
12th. The pre-save date's real simple, July 4th.
Oh,
You
nice.
can pre-save it.
Nice.
We were going to do July 5th, which is a week before, which would make sense for PR reasons.
Right.
But me being the stubborn, proud American that I am, I was like, you know what? Screw it. July 4th it is.
That's right.
We're doing it 8 days ahead because July 4th is easy for people to remember.
Exactly.
And it sounds better. Like while you guys are watching fireworks, click this link and pre-save it so that way in 8 days, you all can go listen to the
There
whole
you
album,
go.
top to bottom. There's 11 songs. Go stream them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier because I know when we were doing interviews there during CMA Fest, and everybody was like, "Yeah, I got a new album and it's dropping like June 23rd," and it's like, okay, I'll try to remember June 23rd
Or June 28th.
or June 28th.
June 28th
and
was
one
a big one, yeah.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, there was just some odd dates, so
That's what
you got something that's right there.
That happens a lot, you know, with how long it takes the distributor to get the songs out,
Right.
getting the cover art ready, getting the lyrics ready for like Spotify where you can read the lyrics. Getting all those things ready takes time, and people have to do that. And I have a phenomenal team that's working on that, including my parents. And so I was like, I gotta have something that makes people, you know, easy to just be like, oh. So it's real simple. July 4th.
I love that. And
Sticks
what's
out
the
in your
name of the
head.
album again?
It's called The Ride, Phase 2. So the last album I put out was called Phase 1, Discover.
Yes.
And this one's called The Ride, Phase 2.
Nice.
So it's just different phases of my life. And the titles that aren't the phases, you know, Discover, The Ride, not named after songs on the album. They're just named about, you know, how I would describe that portion of my life. You know,
That's cool.
The last album was, I mean, they were written over the early parts of my teen years, from like 14 to whenever we put it out in 2022. So I literally right up until we put the album out, I was writing songs for the album. And so it was me discovering myself as an
I was
artist,
gonna
as a
say,
person,
those
as
years.
a teenager. They're so
Yeah.
formidable years. And so this one, you know, now I've kind of found myself as an artist. I'm finding myself as a young adult. And so I was like, man, it's been a ride since the last album. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Look at that.
There you
Looked
go.
up synonyms for Discover, and Ride was on there. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Really?
That'll
Literally looked up synonyms for Discover, and The Ride popped up. And I was like, man, it has been whoa. That's, aha. That's quite literally how, you know, the KISS thing, Keep It Simple,
Keep It
Stupid.
Simple, yeah.
That's quite literally how I picked the title of this album. Keep It Simple, Stupid.
Yep.
'Cause, man, it's been a ride. All right, we'll call it The Ride. There you go.
I love it.
And just like that, the album number 3, Keep It Simple, Stupid.
Right. There you go.
Look at that.
I think there's a song in there.
I think I should actually. That might be the first time I release an album where it's actually named after a song on the album.
There you go.
Call it KISS.
Because I do that all the time.
There you go.
I do it all the time where things would just fly out of my mouth and she'll just stop because you really need to write that down.
Yeah, there's a song.
That happens all the time.
Happens all
I'll
the
say
time.
Random stuff and somebody will be like, "Oh, that's a song somewhere in there." My dad's usually the one that I'll say. Well, one of us will say the most off the wall thing. Like, "Oh, you can write a song about that." And I'm like, that should never see the light of day. Like, no.
Yeah.
But it happens. You get the best song ideas in the shower. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
Yeah, and she used to tell me that, and I'm like, what am I going to write it down for? What am I going to do with it? So, but now she's got
Now
me.
you're finding out.
Now she's got me. I'm actually writing now.
There you go.
Yeah.
It all started out. I wrote stories. I like to write short stories.
That's so cool.
So, but I didn't know. And I don't play. These instruments are decoration. They were bought for me, given to me, hoping I'd learn how to play.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to play these guitars or sing. I used to be able to sing until I went in the military, and I just destroyed my vocal cords.
Happens.
In the military. But so I'm like, songwriting. I don't know anything about songwriting, but
Everybody can write
But
songs.
she's like,
Yep.
you know how to write a story.
Some of the most successful songwriters are people that cannot sing or play an instrument. It's the most amazing thing ever.
I would believe that. Yeah.
So lucky for me now, one of my stories I actually showed to an individual, and he loved it. I wrote the story. He's working it all out and working the music. So hopefully for too long,
Look at that.
we will have our first song. So
See, it's not that hard to write songs.
That's right.
Which is why I don't know why I'm the one sitting over here and you're
No,
not,
no,
because
no,
it's
there's a
not hard to
difference.
do it.
I don't write songs.
is-
I
it
just
is
write,
hard.
I write stories.
All it is
That's
a
it.
story that
So-
has a rhyme at the end of
and-
the line.
And some stories
it is.
some of my stories are really stupid. So
Well, no,
but-
you know that you got to know it's a little bit hard though, because
Yeah.
you talked about how the first songs that you wrote compared to
every
now.
1 out of maybe 8 to 12 songs that you write are actually worth performing and maybe recording. You usually will go through phases where the first week after you write a song, this is the best thing ever, and then you'll play it maybe once or twice at a round, and then you'll be like, oh man, I forgot about that one. You'll go back and listen to it, and you're like, what in the world was I thinking? And so those get shoved away in a deep dark corner nobody will ever see. But then every now and again, you'll have that one that sticks with you.
Right.
And that's why this album has taken over 2 years to put together.
Yeah.
We put out the last one in 2022. And literally since before the album came out, we finally had all the songs finished. And I was still writing, but just for this album. I was
Right.
just continued to write about what I was going through and stuff like that. And before you know it, we have this album, but it's taken 2.5 years to put together. And yeah, you want to have a break in between them so people will listen to the old stuff.
right.
But I mean, it takes a while to come up, especially if I want to stay true to myself and my goals and my journey of writing all of my stuff.
Right.
Well, definitely, going through your music catalog, I started right from the first ones and worked my way up, and you can definitely, not only hear the difference in your voice because you obviously grew up
100%.
over that time.
Oh, yeah.
But you can also hear the maturity as far as your performance. The fact that now you've lived life a little bit more, and them song you feel that more conviction in you when you're
Absolutely.
performing, and they become even more believable.
Absolutely. And that happened so recently. I mean, if you go back and listen to the last album, I was 17 still recording it. Just the other day, we were watching a music video from the last album with my girlfriend who had never watched it. And we were watching it, and she was like, you were like 16 when you put this out. This is how you sounded? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right. First of all, that was a little rude, but thank you. My mom turns around, she's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, hold on. But Dad's like, that's my boy.
Yeah.
And now here we are. My voice has matured in those a year. I mean, if I listen to work tapes from a year ago, I think I sound completely different.
Yeah.
Look different. It's just how it happens. And as life goes on, you experience things, and your voice feels it.
Yeah.
And especially if you put your mindset in that when you're in the studio singing those lyrics, and you're remembering what you were going through when you wrote that down.
Right.
That really, really helps. I mean, it's psychological. It's all in the
Absolutely.
head of getting the feeling out, which is really important because people can smell bullcrap from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not feeling those lyrics, then people are going to not believe it.
And with you having a background in acting as well, I would think that would even that background would help in the studio, because getting yourself, like you said, in that mindset.
Absolutely.
And being able to put yourself back there and really act out those emotions.
I think that the acting has really helped me with the live aspect.
Oh, I'm sure.
Being
yeah.
in front of people, being confident. We were talking about this before we came on air. I always say I know enough about enough to have a conversation with everybody. And when I'm on stage, if someone says they're from Sacramento, I can talk about the Sacramento Kings. Like talk about sports with them, or California. No matter where you're from, what you do, I can have a conversation with you. And I think that acting has really helped me with that. You're going into casting directors' offices, having to make a connection and do sometimes really intense or emotional scenes with people you've never met.
Right.
And they're the ones that are judging you.
Well, the audition
Yeah.
process has to be stressful in itself.
So that's just like a live performance. That's exactly what it is. Memorizing something and going and performing and selling it to an audience. And that's exactly what it is. Only an audition is real personal, and we're this far away from each other.
Right.
You've never met the person, and they've seen 30 other people that day do the same thing over and over again. So they're tired by the time you get there.
Right.
So I think the acting's really helped me with that, and that's why it was so important for me to write all of the songs so that it didn't feel like acting. It was more raw when it came to the lyrics and the performance aspect of getting those emotions.
That makes
out.
a lot of sense.
That's really kind of the meaning behind that. I'm a little stubborn, so I want to write all my own stuff. There's a little part of that, that in there, but it's really the wanting to just be as authentic as I can be. Being real and finding people that are true to who they are is very hard nowadays.
Yes, it is.
And so that's something that I really want to stick to as best I can. And so the acting's definitely helped me, but also just having those real emotions, you can't fake that.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about a lot about it. I think it's time that we have some music
sir.
now. Okay.
Do it.
Please.
All right. Let me silence that background band.
They're pretty good. I don't know who they were. They were performing. You hear that?
I can
Sound
hear
good out there, folks. Please, nobody judge.
Wait. So do you need me to move it?
There, we're good.
Is that better? Can we zoom in on him, baby?
You betcha. Hold on. Maybe. As long as the cameras do what they're supposed to do.
Right. There
Boom.
we go.
How about that?
Cool. Well, figure I'll play you a song off the album.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sure.
I will. I'll start off with a song I wrote with my friend Erica Latza, and we were really into the kind of Zach Bryan mood when we decided to write this. I think he's really done a really cool thing with making how his music comes out. And so Erica, I had this idea. I actually have the original idea, little voice memo in my phone. I was driving. Terrible idea. Kids do not do this. The voice memo of me singing a really crappy version of like the title or verse or something like that. And while I was driving, brought it to Erica. She had a little melody, and before you know it, we ended up writing the song that ended up going on the album. It's called Roots.
Cool.
These roots have held me down. This ground ain't ever seen the likes of you. And your wayward winds ripped 'em up the night that it tore through. These roots, these stones in your riverbed ain't lost their edge. They cut me to the bone when your waters rose. Now drowning here's the only thing I know. With these stones, and now the river's rolling like you rode in, right on past the warning signs. Don't I know it, 'cause I'm broken, floating underneath the pines, till the day the flint runs dry. These hands tried holding on, but they can't keep a heart already gone. It was never meant to hurt like this. Don't know where it went wrong. And now the river's rolling like you rode in, right on past the warning signs. And don't I know it 'cause I'm broken, floating underneath the pines, to the day the Flint runs dry. And the day the Flint runs dry. And now the river's rolling like you rode in, right on past the warning signs. Don't I know it 'cause I'm broken, floating underneath the pines. The river's rolling like you rode in, right on past the warning signs. Don't I know it 'cause I'm broken, floating underneath the pines, to the day the Flint runs dry. The day the Flint runs dry. These roots have held me down, this ground ain't ever seen the likes of you. And your wayward winds ripped 'em up the night that it tore through.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you guys.
I love that.
Thank you.
Nice.
We've got a lot of listeners out here who are loving it as well.
Yeah. How about let's check and give some shout outs
Yeah.
and
There you
see
go.
if anybody has any questions or,
Oh, yeah.
or anything
Yeah.
like that, you know?
So Miss Verona Corona, she's one of our listeners from Canada.
Hello. I've been to Canada. I filmed 2 movies up there.
Really?
Vancouver, Canada. Filmed one for Disney in 2015, one for Nickelodeon in 2016.
Oh, very cool.
Cool. Well, she's getting ready to have a house party up there.
Oh, boy.
And
I'll come up.
there you go, Verona. Jet will come up.
Invite me.
Yeah, you haven't been around the coastal world much yet.
I have not.
But now that we're kind of the bridge between the two, coastal and
Okay, there you
country.
go.
So
House concerts are a big
house concerts
thing.
are a big thing.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
Hey, if people ask nice enough, I'll bring the band and we'll have a good old time.
Well, there you go. She said, that's cool.
There you go.
And then Taylor is out there.
Hello to my daughter,
our daughter
Taylor.
from up in Ohio.
Look at that.
Of
Hi,
course,
Taylor.
got to say hi to the grandkids. Hello to Everly and Denver. So,
That's right.
Everly,
Yeah.
Denver.
yeah.
Caleb is out there, my cousin.
How's it
Caleb?
going, Caleb?
He has a son named Sam, and
Hello, Sam.
Sam is little and was trying to sing along. So,
Oh, there you go.
and the other, our other Canadian out there, Monica,
Hello to Monica and hello to Vacuum Cleaner Tom.
And you'll find out in the coastal world, everybody has nicknames too.
That's awesome. I got to come up with a nickname then. It's kind of hard to nickname Jet because it's already kind of a nickname.
You were kind of
You guys might have to get creative.
you're just kind of born with it.
I was born with a nickname.
We could. Well, JJ's not very coastal
No.
though.
I have a little cousin whose name is Jensen Joe Jurgensmeyer, and everybody calls him JJ.
I can see that. Yeah.
He'd be Triple J.
Triple J.
Actually, if y'all want to know a fun fact about me, my first name is Joseph. My middle name is Jet. My dad and I both go by our middle names. We share the same first name as my grandfather, and he goes by Joe. So my dad and I both have gone by our middle names our whole life.
Oh, okay,
And so
cool.
I am actually the first JJJ, triple threat, triple J, J cubed, if you will.
J cubed.
There you
I
go.
like that one.
There you go.
Okay, you're J cubed.
There we go. And now we got little Jensen that runs around, and he's also Joe. So
Wow.
it'd be real confusing. I have a cousin who just got married last weekend, Corey Joseph. I mean, if everybody went by Joe, it's a whole cluster.
J is your family's favorite letter.
It 100% is. We take it very, very proud. We wear it with a badge, like a badge of honor.
Just like Sesame Street, this episode's been brought to you by the letter J.
There you go.
There you go. Sesame Street always scared me when I was little.
Really?
Elmo
I
to
never-
this day gives me nightmares.
Really?
I cannot stand Elmo.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh,
goodness,
that's
he scares me.
hysterical. My daughter, whenever Tickle Me Elmo came out.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
So she was okay with Tickle Me Elmo after she hit a certain age, but a friend of mine, my kids liked Winnie the Pooh, and when Tigger, when Tigger first started, they came out with the toy where he bounced. Mm-hmm. Oh my Lord! My best friend bought that for one of my kids, and they screamed and ran out of the room. It terrified them, and my grandson had the Elmo. And it terrified him. He ran.
My grandmother bought me this dancing Elmo that played the guitar.
Oh,
with a
yeah.
leather jacket. Terrified me. To this day, if I see Elmo, I just get this little feeling that's like, let's just stuff him away in the bottom of the toy box. I don't like it.
I'm like that with, well, you definitely probably don't remember, but your parents might. But there used to be this toy, and it was a monkey, and it had symbols.
Oh, I remember
Like
that.
a monkey shines? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, my grandpa had, the only memory I have of my grandpa, he had this little monkey, and it had the symbols, and then its teeth would, like its mouth would open, it would make noise. He would chase me around. I was like 3 years old. He would chase me around laughing like crazy.
Do you guys remember when that was in Toy Story? They had that monkey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And he was evil. He was one of the bad toys. I remember him too. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for stirring up that childhood trauma. Oh,
Well,
man.
somebody at one of I had forgotten about it too. And I used to work in a factory years ago. And in the break room, somebody was reading, it must have been that book. I didn't even know that there was a thing about it. And somebody was in the break room and they were reading. And I saw it on the cover of the book and I'm like, oh my God, that's the monkey. and now every time I see it, I freak out. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, let me see here. Michelle Myers, our ambassador.
The ambassador of all great things.
There you go.
Of course, we are looking forward to being with her coming up July 3rd
Yes.
For her annual holiday 4th of July celebration, and for the the fireworks up there in Memphis
At the BAR.
at the
You know what?
BAR.
You know what July 3rd is?
What?
The day before you can pre-save.
There you go.
There you go.
I knew that was coming.
Come on, guys.
And you know what? We're actually live broadcasting from the BAR.
Yes.
That night.
Well, look at that.
And so we will make a note.
Tell you what,
to
when
tell
midnight
everybody.
strikes,
we're gonna
you guys
be-
are going to be the first two.
We're going to be up
pre-saving
there
the album.
in
That's right.
Bartlett, just outside of Memphis, is where
All
we're
right.
going to be at. So.
I will be in Missouri on the lake,
right.
probably.
Oh,
Having a
how
little lake
nice.
time.
Okay, Ambassador, just remember, set your watch there at the party to remind everybody that they need to go
Including
ahead
us.
and get the new album.
Yeah, everybody say, "Hey Siri, set reminder."
There
for
you
July
go.
4th. Oh, my phone turned on and said, "Hey Siri."
Well, for us Android people, we got to do it manually.
Yeah.
Happens.
Well-
Happens, guys.
Michelle also says that anytime y'all are in the Memphis area or passing through and you need a place to stay, she has a
to
guest
know.
room.
Yeah,
So-
she is fantastic, and when I say she takes care of everybody, including us and everybody that's affiliated, our sponsors, she is taking care
That's
of everybody.
You know, I got to go
Yes.
through Memphis last year. Near the end of last year, we were on our radio tour, promoting one of the songs, and we stopped at the pyramid.
Oh,
Bass
isn't that
Pro
the coolest
Oh,
place?
it's
I'd never
coolest.
been there. I love Bass Pro. It's my favorite store in the whole world. Bass Pro and Cabela's. I buy everything there. Clothes probably came from Bass Pro. Knives probably came from Bass Pro. Guns probably came from Bass Pro. Everything, my hunting, everything's. I have a problem with Bass Pro. I walked in there and I was like, "There's like 3 floors. I'm sorry,
yeah.
what? There's a museum of shotguns.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna spend money in here. Yeah,
and there's a hotel, and you
there's
can
a
spend the night.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I was mad though because they tried to sell my dad on a hotel. They were like, if you sign up now, you get it like 50% off. We're running this special like this weekend, and he wouldn't do it. I was so furious. I was ready to fight. I was like, "Are you?" He told us afterwards because I was.
Oh, he didn't tell you while you were in the building.
I was like, "I'm sorry. What'd you just say?" They were.
We need to turn this car around.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're going to have a problem. So that's on the bucket list, actually, is to stay at that hotel.
I'm right
Yeah,
there.
that'd be
I'm
kinda
right there with you.
Yeah.
We'll go do that. We'll bring Tiki Man on the road. And
There you
we'll do
go.
an
There we go.
episode from the Bass Pro Pyramid.
That's
There we
Tropical
go.
Country and Bass Pro Shops.
That sounds like a marriage
that.
right there.
That's right.
There you go.
We're
That
there.
sounds like a good time.
Also, want to give a big shout out to, let me keep going back. Sorry. Greasy Joe is out there.
Well, hello to Greasy Joe, singer-songwriter extraordinaire from, he lives in Texas, from our home state of
Texas.
Ohio.
Yeah.
And Greasy Joe, singer-songwriter,
He's been here on our show.
extraordinary. He's been here on our show, but he got his nickname The Honest Way. He was a fighter pilot, and that was his.
Oh, that's
that was his
pretty
call
cool.
sign.
Yeah. That was his
pretty
call sign,
cool.
Greasy Joe.
Nice.
So we love Joe. Joe, we got to get you back in here in the studio, bud.
Absolutely. We got our own now, Joe.
I know.
Then let me see here.
If they had me, they can have you back. Cause come on, it's a trial run to see how it goes with me.
Right.
See how derailed we get. How many times?
Well,
People like it when we get derailed. It's
last
bad.
week when we had an in-guest studio artist here, we lost the radio side, so we were doing just YouTube all together.
Oh, boy.
And I panicked for a minute because I had everything worked out last
Yeah.
night. I come in, logged everything on this afternoon, and all of a sudden the sound was off again. And I'm like, oh. So
Oh, yeah, it's ugly when that happens.
I went scrambling, but
Oh.
we
yeah.
fixed it. We fixed
We're
it.
working.
That's right.
It's working.
Maureen Mo is out there along with the Mystery Man.
Well, hello to Mo and the Mr. Man.
And the beautiful Sean Crawley is out there today.
Hello to Sean. Sean, we love you. We were just talking about you. We can't wait to see you at the upcoming summer
Yes.
party. And of course, we were showing Jet and his parents our Crawley wall. So
Yes.
There you go.
yeah.
And Jet, you don't know this yet, but the Tiki Man has a summer party every year.
Oh.
In July. And it's actually, you won't be in town. It's actually this year, it's the 4th of July weekend,
Well.
but it's not normally.
Well,
Hey,
I can tell him all about it.
there you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Tell them all about it.
Let me tell you all about it.
Make your plans for the 17th Annual Tiki Bar Summer Party, July the 6th, 2024, right here in Harrison Bay. The lineup this year is B-Man and Michelle, and headlining the stage is Tim Campbell and the Tropical Attitudes Band. It's always a great time, and there'll be other artists, special guests. You never know who's going to show up. Go ahead and make your plans. Go over to TikiManRadio.com and click on the Where to Stay tab and get your rooms booked right now. That's the 17th Annual Tiki Bar Summer Party, July the 6th, 2024. Come on out and have a birthday bash with me right here at the Tiki Bar.
Absolutely.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Got to have
You know-
the birthday bash.
You know what people can do 2 days before your party is pre-save the album. There you go.
I'm going to tell you what.
I love
I
this.
just keep setting them up, and he keeps spiking them. There
I
you
know.
Guys,
You guys are a good team.
I'm telling you, the PR mindset that I have for July 4th, I think it's the best decision we made about the album.
I do too, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that was a great thing.
Absolutely. And
It's not just some random date.
No, it's not.
I love it.
And I can tell you right now, the ambassadors in the 2 minutes that we've talked about it, she's already sold probably 50 copies
There
of
you
it to
go.
her friends.
You know,
Yes.
it's funny because
Yes.
I do have like an audience base that's in like South America, some in Europe. My current radio single is getting played in Europe all over the radio, which is crazy to think about. So they're probably like, what happened on July 4th? They have no idea. But every American listening to this right now is like, yeah, red, white, and blue,
Right.
July 4th,
America.
pre-save. That's exactly what's happening. And that's the mindset I want. But then everybody else is going to hear me talk about it so much, they're going to be like, well, shoot, I guess we'll pre-save it July 4th. I don't know what the significance is.
Exactly. I'm sitting here saying nobody will forget that date, and everybody over there is like, why? What?
Why would
What's so
I not
important
forget
about that date?
Yeah, I'm saying that it's not just some random date, and they're like, yeah, it is.
You know, like, there's one guy out there who's like, wow, he's doing it on my birthday. That's so cool. But other than that, they're like, what is July 4th?
Right.
But they're going to hear us talk about it so much that there's no way they can forget.
There you go.
Love it.
Well, the rock star herself, Miss Beth Travers.
Miss, that is our MFG Records rock star. And of course, you was
We
talking.
love Beth.
Talking about the music industry, her and Beth and
Dave
Fines,
Fines.
the two that own MFG Records there, they were both members of the house band at the Grand Ole Opry for 20 years.
Years and years, yeah.
and years and years.
What?
Yeah.
They are the coolest people to sit and talk to, and the stories that they tell are amazing.
The amount of times that I've been backstage at the Opry and just stood there watching my friends even perform,
Yeah.
stand in the circle, and just getting to watch, and the it's like I got a snake in my boot just waiting for me. I just want to run out there and be like, the circle, I just want to stand on it.
I just want to touch it.
And I love when people from out of town, they're like, oh, we'll go to the Opry. That'll be, what's the Grand Ole Opry House? You're like, what did you just say?
Exactly.
Give me your ticket, actually. You're not allowed to go.
You don't even deserve
You don't
to
know
step
what the
in the
circle
building.
is? Come on. You don't know that it was originally at the Ryman?
Exactly.
Come on.
You don't even
guys.
deserve to go.
Yeah, I will say I've been able to get on the Ryman stage, and that's always still pretty cool to feel that. My a good friend of mine that I was in the movie I filmed in Vancouver with, Sabrina Carpenter, she has performed at the Ryman a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
And the first time she performed, on that tour, she would bring a guest out to sing one of the songs with her, like sit on the stage and sing with her. Typically, they were friends. Well, she was in my hometown, so we were there. And she asked me to come out on stage. And we didn't
at the
tell
Ryman?
we didn't tell my mom. My mom is the biggest country music fan you will find. Grew up listening. She's the reason that I'm a musician. And she was standing in the front row, freaked out when I walked on stage. She's crying. She was throwing teenage girls.
Oh, I would have been
Oh.
too.
There were teenage
Throwing the
girls that were
teenage
there for
girls out?
Sabrina, and they saw me, and our movie had like just come out, so they were all like, "Oh my gosh!" And she was like, "Get out of my way!" Girls were trying to. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. She was like, "These little girls were trying to talk to me," and I was like, "My kid's on stage. I will throw hands with you right now." If you talk to me one more time. Her country came out. She was ready. Oh my goodness! But it was pretty cool because now I look at that and I'm like, "Oh man, it performed at the Ryman."
Yeah,
so now
that is amazing.
I want to genuinely perform at the Ryman, genuinely perform at Bridgestone and the Opry. Maybe one day get to play at Nissan because I mean
that's cool.
Those are the four places that I grew up going to concerts. I mean that was my entire childhood was going to. Whether it was CMA Fest, no matter what it was, or excuse me, not CMA Fest, Fanfare.
Yes.
That's what the
Yes.
actual name is, people.
Yes.
They just changed it to CMA Fest. Makes me mad.
I know, right?
Fanfare, guys. That's what it was my
It's
entire life.
Fanfare, yeah.
Fanfare. And, getting to go to shows at all those places. So one day I'm going to slowly check those
Well,
off.
I tell you,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a matter of if, it's when you're going to.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, so my daughter that you met out here,
Yes.
so she is now jealous.
Oh, boy.
She absolutely loves Sabrina. And so
A lot of my friends at college are always like Sabrina played at the Ryman during the first semester of school.
Oh, cool.
And so naturally when Sabrina was in town, I went and saw her and I got to see her. I hadn't seen her in a couple of years. It was awesome. She sounded great. Her performance was awesome. And a lot of my friends were super jealous. And she's coming back to Nashville on her own tour playing at Bridgestone Arena. I'm so proud of her.
That
She's
is amazing.
Completely deserved it. She's one of the most talented, sweet, genuine people that I've ever met and worked with. We're talking about that authenticity, and she's awesome. Her family's amazing. And she's performing, I think it's October 16th, and I'm going to be dead in the middle of my elk hunt in New Mexico.
Oh, no.
I'm going to be in the mountains of New Mexico, and if I hadn't had it booked for almost 4 years, I would be there in a heartbeat. And so,
Well, my daughter might take your ticket. I'm
well, there
just saying.
you go. I know that a month out, I'm going to be getting text messages from
Absolutely.
quote-unquote friends.
Oh, yeah, right.
Friends that you haven't heard of for years.
Friends that I've met once in the cafeteria on campus.
Exactly.
I'd be like, hey, man, remember that one time that I'm like, you mean the time that we like wore the same boots in the cafeteria? Like that time?
No, it's the man. I let you borrow a pen. Don't you remember?
Oh, right. Right. We had Old Testament together first
Yes,
semester.
yeah.
Freshman year. Right.
There you go.
Oh, we were in the same seminar. That's
Yeah.
right. No.
That's fun. Well, we've got a few more people out here. Mr. Matt Van Fossen,
Hello,
singer, songwriter extraordinaire.
Yep.
that.
That
would-
happens to be the gentleman that I used to
Yep.
manage.
Oh, hey,
So,
Matt.
And he has, let's see, first national release is coming up.
He just had a video on CMT.
Video just got
That's
released
awesome.
to CMT.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in the fall, he's heading for The Voice.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
What is today? Thursday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
These days get all confused in my head.
I
Don't judge me.
understand.
Yesterday we put out the music video for my latest radio single.
Yes, I
Good
know.
Days.
Yep.
So everybody, please go stream that. Go stream Matt's. Go watch it.
Yeah.
And then go check mine. And then on July 4th,
Pre-save the new album.
Look, man, we're doing this radio tour, guys. I gotta promote it.
That's
I
right.
have to promote it. People will get upset with me if I don't.
That's right. I think you should do a thing on social media with the American flag and say something about
Hashtag freedom. Hashtag the ride phase 2.
That's right.
Pre-save.
That's right.
Not to pre-save this album would be un-American.
Exactly.
There you go. I'm gonna run for some
Yeah.
form of office under that.
There you
don't
go.
pre-save my album, you're not American. There you go. All the non-Americans so confused. They're like, what is happening over
This is
there?
the best bipartisan decision anybody can make.
Come on, guys. It's democracy.
I'm bringing people together
He's
here.
unifying the
Everybody
country.
knows.
Unifying the country.
Everybody knows this album brings people together.
That's right. Well, Mama Parks is out there. She
Well,
said
hello
she's
to my
enjoying
mama.
the music and the stories.
Yeah, good.
Hello.
And okay. Moni wants to know if you are free for July 20th. She's
July
one of our
20th.
Canada folks.
Oh boy, I might be performing because I know I have our first tour date.
Oh yeah.
It's like July 10th or something like that, and I feel like we're hitting some places around then, and I have some shows around.
Now, where can people
Gotcha.
find that?
That's such a good question. You've done this before.
I have. Once or twice.
If you go to my website, jetjurgensmeyer.com,
Yeah.
there's a little button that you can press that says tour. And if you click on that, you will see every place I'm performing, solo gigs, acoustic gigs, downtown, and then touring with the band. You can see all of it. And we're
Nice.
constantly updating it. So as I'm performing more, I usually post on my socials as well about it. Always do. But also a good way to keep up with it is the website.
Nice.
Fabulous. Well, Matt wants to know about playing on the Will and Grace reboot.
Oh, great
You
question.
were on that?
I was. So I played Jack's grandson.
That's
Go to
right.
that.
Yeah.
Such a great experience. Sean Hayes is one of the best people I've ever worked with. Super nice guy, so professional, so creative. I mean, if you want to talk about just a great actor and funny and versatile with being serious and being hilarious, he's done it. He was awesome to work with. It was a blast. I enjoyed the show, and it was a really good time.
I bet it was.
I loved it when he did Jerry Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I think he nailed it.
He's just a great actor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's really fun. And then, have you ever, Michelle Myers wants to know, have you ever attended Bonnaroo?
No, I have not.
You're still too young for that, aren't you? Or you were.
I think I don't know what the age is on it. It should be like 40. But I've never been there. Definitely haven't performed at it. I don't imagine I would fit in with people that well at Bonnaroo, but I would love to go at some point and experience it and see what all of the
One of
hype
those
is
things
about.
just to say you did.
Exactly. It's like going to a college party. I still haven't done that, but you gotta say you went. You gotta say you went to one just to be like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm good.
Yeah, see, now back where we come from, the big thing, the big music festival we always went to was a place. It was called Jamboree in the Hills.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was always called the Super Bowl of country music.
If it's called the Jamboree, you know it's a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
It started back in 1977, and it was the first artist to perform up Johnny Cash
Oh,
and all
yeah.
the legends.
Oh, my goodness.
And unfortunately, it became a victim, just about 20...
After we moved down here.
It was probably about 2019, 2020, right around in there.
no,
The
Matt will
festival
know.
finally just...
Yeah.
It died.
Live Nation took over. That's all I'm going to say about
It turned
that.
into a single day to a 4-day event. It was all outdoors.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic thing.
It happens.
And then, it just
And
unfortunately
a
just
side
went away.
note, we saw a picture
Oh boy.
of Lainey Wilson wearing a Jamboree in the Hills T-shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was amazed by that.
Well, I was trying
she
to.
likes vintage clothes anyway.
Well, and
but,
then when I found out, that she goes to like the Goodwill and places like that
She
to
likes the
shop,
thrift
like
store.
that's probably where she found it.
You know, a lot of people like thrifting. It's,
I
it's
love
actually
it.
something that I had never been exposed to until I was filming the movie for Disney and the one for Nick. Vancouver has thrift shops and vintage stores all over.
Oh,
so
wow.
many, and so it was always like a fun thing that us kids would go do was travel around and see what vintage stores we hadn't been to. And so I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Never seen that stuff. You can get some pretty cool stuff.
Right.
Some of those places.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, it's getting to be the top of the hour. And before we take a break to go do some, take care of our sponsors who take care of us, how about we get another song
Yes,
before we
sir.
do that?
yeah.
Do it.
All right.
I'm gonna this one we're gonna kind of slow it down and quiet it down for a minute.
All right.
This one. I wrote this one with Erica Latza as well, and our friend Josie Bisto. And every songwriter has to have their one songwriter song that's talking about being a songwriter and the hardships of that. You know, a lot of times, especially when you tell people like, "Oh yeah, I'm an actor, I'm a songwriter for a living," it's like, all right, well maybe don't put all your eggs in one basket. And so you just gotta. We wrote this song to all those people. This one's called Six Strings. I picked it up, can't put it down. Strumming through my thoughts till all my words fall out. I laid it out for everyone to see, wishing on every star that hangs in Tennessee that maybe I won't be just another damn he tried, no, couldn't seem to get it right in those 3 minutes, but he put his whole heart in it. 'Cause I done prayed and hoped he heard every story, every word that I've been living. I swear these 6 strings have lived it. I've put the miles on my boots, dreaming of a sold out crowd from an empty dive bar room, and all the ones that wrote me off, they'll hear me on the radio, and when they sang along, swear they knew all along that he was never just a damn he tried, no, couldn't seem to get it right in those 3 minutes, but he put his whole heart in it. 'Cause I done prayed and hoped he heard every story, every word that I've been living. I swear these 6 strings have lived it. I won't be another damn he tried. I'll keep trying till I get it right in those 3 minutes. I'll put my whole heart in it, 'cause I done prayed and I know he heard every story, every word that I've been living, all the dues I've given. I swear these 6 strings have lived it. Swear these 6 strings have lived it. Thank you guys.
I love it.
Thank you.
Lots of our folks are really, really enjoying your music for sure. And
That's awesome.
You are right. Your voice has changed a lot. I mean, it was good before, but Lord, it is really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are welcome. Also want to give a big shout out to Miss Pauline Yandow. She's out there tonight.
Hello,
Yeah,
Pauline.
she messaged on Facebook and she was like, I can't wait.
Yes.
So she was very much looking for the show.
I hope I lived up to your expectations.
Oh, absolutely. And Ed Kubiak and Felicia.
Well, hey, that is a part of the Peace Train right here on Tiki Man Radio every Monday night.
Look at that.
And Ed and Pat are out there.
Well,
They are the Peace
they
Train.
are the Peace Train. Yeah.
There you go.
Let me see. I'm just going to run through these names
All right.
just real quick.
Sure.
So we've got Tracy Bowman,
That'd be my cousin. Yeah.
Austin Tanner.
Austin, that'd be the son-in-law. No. Austin Tanner, singer-songwriter.
Look, Taylor's like, who?
No, singer-songwriter
Yeah.
Austin Tanner. Gosh, there's too
Singer-songwriter
many Austins
Austin
in my
Tanner.
life.
And then we've got Barry D out there.
Barry
Barry.
D.
Elaine Roberito.
Elaine?
Say that 10 times fast.
Right? Donna DiBengrazio.
Okay.
So sorry if I'm butchering anybody's name. Danny Williams.
Hey, Danny.
Manalo is out there.
Hello to singer-songwriter Manalo.
Hello.
Carl Bailey.
Hey, Carl. You know Carl.
I do
We
know
went to school
Carl.
with Carl.
I do. Cynthia Pratt.
Hey, Cynthia.
Mr. Jason Whitler.
Hey, Jason.
Alan Ronco. Hello to you.
Singer-songwriter Alan Ronco. Yeah.
Look at that.
Mr. Alan Jacks Bowers.
Alan Jacks Bowers. He tell you what, you want to talk about a percussionist, a man of many talents. That's Alan Jacks Bowers.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the whole community.
We
That's
do.
right. Everybody's here just for you.
That's the one thing I can tell you about the coastal world in general is all the artists band together and support each other.
That's awesome.
Yes, they
So-
do.
That's hard to find. That's one thing I love about the country music world is most of the people you find aren't the people that will stab you in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people you find are going to be people that just want to be successful with everybody else. Those are the people I try to surround myself with.
Absolutely. There you go.
that is a big deal. I've heard a lot about that in Nashville. It's almost like there's two sets of people. Mm-hmm. There's the scam artists and the nasty one, and then there's the really good people. There's no like middle ground, I don't think.
Every now and then, I think that goes for kind of any industry. It's kind of hard to have someone that's a good person, but then also they do bad things, sort of thing. And
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate that pretty much everybody that I worked with is awesome.
That's usually her first question to everybody is, are they as nice as they really
Yeah.
seem?
That's a question I get asked a lot about a lot
Yeah.
of people I
So-
work with.
And there really are, there are some people, and everybody knows, I'm going to say the name, Neil McCoy.
I absolutely love Neil McCoy with
Listen.
my whole heart.
Listen, I knew I loved this boy. They are friends with him.
Neil
Well,
has
how
known me
cool
my
is
whole
that?
life. Neil has known me my entire life. I actually have a Neil McCoy hat that I almost wore today because I love Neil.
I would have passed out.
I
love
actually
Neil.
just saw him last month in May.
There was a
we hosted an event.
Yes.
My family and I put on an event for Tunnel Towers, a great
Awesome.
organization.
We love it.
And I hosted and performed at it. We had Neil come and perform. Such an amazing guy, such a great
Yes.
performer. Sounds awesome. Genuinely is the coolest. I cannot speak highly enough about
It's not
Neil
just
McCoy.
me, people.
What-
See?
You should know how many times have you
If
I
you
know.
don't know
I
Neil
mean,
McCoy,
you're on a first name basis with Neil now. I mean, criminally. I mean,
I will fight anyone that has anything negative to say
Thank
about that
you.
because they're the problem. Because that
Thank
man
you.
has not caused
Yes.
any problems his whole life. He is awesome. I love Neil McCoy. I'm so glad you said that.
Yes,
I just got to
he-
see him the other day too, so that's awesome. Neil's great.
I'm just going to hang out with you.
All right.
But yeah, Neil, we have seen Neil. I was talking to your mom about it. She was actually telling me about the Tunnel to Towers. And our sponsor, JBL Legends Travel, he works with them quite a bit.
That's awesome.
And does group cruises and
They're
fundraisers
great.
and things. They are an amazing organization.
Frank, the founder, is just such an awesome guy. It's an amazing foundation. You know, they're one of those organizations where you know the money is going towards what they say it's going
Right.
towards. And just I was honored to be able to be a small part of raising a good chunk of money for them. And the work that they're doing is something that I think we need to appreciate more, working with veterans and first
Absolutely.
responders, paying off mortgages, building them smart homes for disabled veterans. And it's just it was just so cool to do that. We've been to a couple, and we're like, all right, we're going to do one ourselves. So that's what we did with some close friends and family. My dad's family came out. We had a bunch of our friends in the Missouri area come out, and we did it in St. Louis, and it was a good old time.
How cool.
Well, I can tell you, if you ever need an MC, I am available.
Good. Right? Because I emceed the event, and I didn't know until the day before in the afternoon that I was actually hosting the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Because we did an auction, and so I knew that I was going to be up there for some of that. I was performing, and then I was probably going to talk with another friend of ours that was going to be up there. And then they were like, Jet, we'll just let you do it. You have experience. I've never emceed a whole event before. I have an uncle that doesn't speak very much. He's just a quiet guy. And I swear to you, for 2 weeks after that, man, Jet, you did pretty good at that MC and stuff. I think you should quit all the rest of this and just do that full time. So if the music thing and the acting thing don't work out, I might become an MC permanently and auction off items. I'm good at getting people to spend money.
Well, there you go.
Well, you're like me. You're a talker. And you can wing it.
There you go.
I can do those two things.
Half of what I do, I'm like, I don't know, I'll figure it out.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens. I like to have a plan, but there's always a little aspect of, I don't know.
Well, you know, and you can see they're looking at the poster. The theme of the radio station is what could possibly go wrong.
Exactly. That's, just hit record, and this is live, so we're going to pray that we don't say anything that could possibly end careers.
Right. There you go.
Which has come close to happening before. Just
Well-
never.
Oh, yeah.
You leave a hot mic on, and it's like,
Well-
Exactly.
That's why I always put my hand up there, going hot. But
Well, and thankfully our listeners, the ones that are regulars that get on the chat, they'll start messaging us. We can hear you. I'm like, oh shit.
there you go.
But that's
So-
also the one thing is I can immediately after the show, I can go in, I can take it down, I can edit it, throw it back up.
That's true.
We're good.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything too bad, guys. Here.
Well, I almost did it, and I'll tell you on the break what I almost said earlier.
okay.
Speaking of that, how about
Hey, Josh Clark, how are ya?
Let's go ahead and get to our JBL Legends Travel Minute, and then we will be back with more stories and entertainment from Mr. Jet Jurgensmeyer.
There you go.
And now, Tiki Man Radio is proud to present the JBL Legends Travel Moment with Joe Leo. Take it away, Joe.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Joe Leo with the JBL Travel Group with this week's Travel Minute. While you're watching this, I'm actually on my way to New York City to get on board the Norwegian Joy with a group of about 55 people because the Jukebox Legends, Billy and I and Tommy, are going to be doing a couple of shows on the ship. So next week when I bring you the Travel Minute, I'm going to bring it to you live from Bermuda, which is where we're headed. Well, anyway, in a lot of our travel minutes, we've talked about some of the cruise lines and how some of them now have their own private island that they try to put into as many itineraries as possible. This is great because that island is specifically just for their cruise line. So when your ship is pulls into that island, it's just you and the people on that ship. So they all have different ones. Today I want to talk about what's called the Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is the island that's owned by Royal Caribbean. Now this island is in the Bahamas. It has a huge swimming pool, which they call Oasis Lagoon. It has Splashwater Bay, which for the kids with the water fountain shooting up in the air, and also the Flow Rider, simulator for what do you call that? Surfboarding. I couldn't think of the word. They have a hot air balloon that goes up. That's the up and away section. They have the Cocoa Beach Club, which is basically for families, and you can rent a cabana for the day and have your own cabana, your own water slide, your own private little area for the day. And they just added something called Hideaway Beach. This is an 18 and over section of this island with cabanas, a beach, its own pool and lazy river, and that's called Hideaway Bay. Most of the stuff on the island is complimentary, other than the water park is the Thrill Water Park, which is a slight charge for that, as well as a zip line. And then the Cocoa Beach Club and the Hideaway Beach, we reserve the cabanas. There's an admission for that. There's also 1, There's also 4 restaurants on the island, 3 of which are complimentary. 1 is a la carte. So if you're thinking about taking a trip at on Royal Caribbean, whether it be from Bayonne here in New Jersey or Baltimore, and even out of Florida and Miami, talk to me about hey Joe, I want to go to the perfect day at Coco Cay. This is really it's a beautiful island. It only docks up to 2 ships at a time, and they're only the Royal Caribbean. So it would be Royal Caribbean or Celebrity, which they own both of those. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And the next time I talk to you, I'll be talking to you from Bermuda. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joe. Always travel with someone you trust. JBL Legends Travel and Joe Leo. Reach out to him at 732-831-5200. The official travel company of Tiki Man Radio.
My town on a 2-lane street, one high school where the highways meet. Oh, but that ain't me. I need a little more. I wanna chase some dreams and find out what I'm looking for. I think it's about time I took a couple chances, blow a few ties and dance a couple dances. Live and let the good times roll, fall in love and get my heart broken. Waiting on the sidelines and before another sun goes by, told myself today's the day I'm gonna dip my toes into the water. I got tired of me standing in my way. Well, I'm jumping in on a leap of faith. I'm getting out while the getting's good. I'm young enough to kick up dust, go after that rush just like I should. I think it's about time I took a couple chances, blow a few ties and dance a couple dances. Live and let the good times roll, fall in love and get my heart broken. Waiting on the sidelines and before another sun goes by, told myself today's the day I'm gonna dip my toes into the water. Been waiting on the sidelines and before another sun goes by, I think it's about time. Took a couple chances, blow a few ties, dance a couple dances. Live and let the good times roll, fall in love and get my heart broken. Waiting on the sidelines and before another sun goes by, told myself today's the day I'm gonna dip my toes into the water. Into the water. Dip my toes into the water.
Oh, toes in the water there. Of course, that is Mr. Jurgensmeyer.
That's awesome.
And of course, that is the first song that I heard that I played on the show. And when I heard it, I'm like, we got to get him on the show.
That's so cool.
So it was,
Yeah, it
so
is.
that's the very first song we played here on the, and of course, like I said, I have like 5 others here in the rotation.
And I will tell you, the first time I heard that song, I thought it was Hunter Hayes.
Really?
Yes.
So I do get that a lot. My country kind of comes out in that song. But certain songs, certain ways that I sing every now and again, I'll get Shawn Mendes or Hunter Hayes.
Yeah.
So
which is
that's where
definitely
that-
not an insult.
Not at
Yeah.
all. I take
Yeah.
that. That is awesome. That was a super cool song, though. I wrote that one with an absolute legend, Victoria Shaw, and then Cooper Allen, who's touring.
Cooper, yes.
Absolutely crushing it right now.
We have been trying to get him on this show for
He-
a long
Almost
time.
as long as we've been trying to get you.
He's a busy guy.
He is.
That is the one song we have written together, and it just happened. We actually wrote that song about the little town my dad grew up in that we still live in Missouri. We
Oh,
wrote
cool.
that song about that little town, and all of my friends that are in that town, that used to tell me that I was lucky because I got to get out and travel
Right.
and see the world. And so that song is honestly written about my friends and family from that town that always told me about wanting to get out of that town.
Yep.
And so that's where that idea came from. Talking with Cooper and Victoria about that, and then boom, we got Into the Water out of it.
That's really cool. Well, Kaylee Lehman is out there as well.
Oh, Callie, yep. That's,
Callie, sorry.
Yeah, it's spelled Kaylee. She responds to both. That's my girlfriend. She's watching it with her mom.
Well, hello.
Hey, guys.
She said they are watching and are so proud.
Aw,
You even got a little heart emoji.
look at that.
I know.
Look at that. That's sweet.
So I guess we're getting a clicking sound or something, or popping sound every
No,
once in a while.
It is not on our end, so we're okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So,
I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to sit here.
We're good.
and then Josh Clark is out there as well. So
Hey,
hello,
Josh.
Hello, Josh.
Josh lives in between us and you.
Oh, okay. I'm talking to these people like I know. I'm like,
there in
hey, Josh,
Tullahoma.
yeah, how's it going?
Well, you know them now, or they know you at least.
Exactly. We know each other now.
That's
We're best
right.
friends.
That's right. But yeah, it's funny. We grew up in a very small town as well. And so that small town, you know, all of us, I think, or most of us grew up saying, I can't wait to get out of here.
It happens.
Yeah.
And
It's-
then as you get older, you're kind of like, I miss my small town. Although I don't miss my small town, but I do miss the small town.
I'm
Let's
only,
say that.
I'm only 19, and I still feel that way
Yeah.
about missing it. You know, Nashville used to be a small town, and I'm
Yes.
I'm old enough to remember it when it was still small.
Yeah.
And when the Bat Building downtown was like, whoa. Now when
Yeah.
you're pulling in, we live on the west side. And when you're pulling into downtown, you can't see it.
Yeah.
And that's like, man, my childhood. You know, another super famous place down there is the Station Inn. Everybody needs to go to the Station Inn and watch some music down there. It's this little tiny brick building, and it's surrounded by high rises, and they're too stubborn to sell it. I'm so glad.
Yes.
Because that place is legendary, and we need little places like that because
Absolutely.
I think the second you lose that small town feel, it's like, man, come on.
I
Even,
know.
you know, you go south of Nashville, Franklin's getting big now, and everybody's going down to Franklin.
Yep.
There's still some hope, though. We got Columbia, Tennessee, a little bit more south, which is still
There
that
you
small
go.
town
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
There you go.
They're holding out.
Yep. They're just north of Chattanooga. They're right in between like Franklin and Chattanooga. So,
Okay.
you know.
Yep.
So-
I remember my brother lived in Nashville for 10 or 12 years. And I remember when I first went to see him, that was before, I think Broadway was literally still 2 lanes maybe.
Oh, man.
There were no neon lights allowed on the buildings on Broadway.
Wow.
So it was just all of the signs were like the Ernest Tubb record shop.
Oh, yeah.
It was
You
just
used to be able to actually
really cool.
walk like in the middle of the street
Yes.
downtown.
Yes.
And,
Without the cops having to shut it off.
Nowadays, I always tell people when people are coming to Nashville or asking how it is downtown, I'm like, a Tuesday in March
Yes.
is as busy as it was on the first Saturday of Fanfare.
Yes.
I mean, that's how crazy it gets.
Yeah, it used to be, you know, you can tell wintertime's a good time to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a downtime now.
I was performing downtown in the winter, and I mean, it was, other than the week where we had ice everywhere,
Yeah.
and I didn't get out, it was still insanely busy.
Really?
So it's it used to be one of those things where it was like, man, do I want to go and have a gig on like a Wednesday night? It's like,
Yeah.
it's the middle of the week. Everybody's out. Nobody works anymore. I'm like, don't some of y'all have jobs? What are you doing? I mean, I'll keep taking the tip money and play
Right,
whatever you
right.
want, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're wearing a ring. You got a family. Get back home. What are you doing? Come on.
I love it. That's so funny.
It's crazy how much it builds up in those small town
Yeah.
vibes. But that's where it's like those kind of stories where that album came from.
Yeah.
And so that's where that whole like real feelings are from. You know, it was a story that I had lived.
Yeah.
And so it was, man, all right, well, we'll put this on the album. Let's write about it. And Cooper does what Cooper does, and he's an awesome songwriter. Victoria is ridiculously talented. We came out with that song, and now I think people, when they hear this whole album coming up, they've kind of gotten a taste of it with the 4 songs we've put out leading up to the album.
Right.
And I'll play one of them here in a
Yeah.
minute. But people can get a feel of now some more things that I go through. It's like, man, that's where all those young teenage feelings. I want to get out of this town.
Yeah.
And now, as life goes on, there's more things to write about.
Right.
Well, even as adults, we still get that way of, you fall in that grind and you need to get out. You need something different.
Absolutely. Because
you've been living that same grind. And so, you got to adventure. So,
I get it. I've been lucky that I've, for the career path that I've been blessed with, I get to travel with it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I do love being at home. Especially with my grandparents that are getting older, around my family. I am, like I said earlier, an only child, so being around my cousins that are like siblings is really important to me. Family is the most important thing to me. But I am very blessed that I do get to travel. And, a few weeks back, I was in Europe for the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
Oh, wow.
Went to Normandy and Dunkirk, and we started in Germany. We ended at the cliffs of Dover and spent 2 days in London. And, it was a beautiful trip, beautiful vacation. We had World War II veterans on our cruise. That was awesome.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
So I still get to travel, but there's nothing like just sleeping in your own bed, being at home, knowing that when I get up in the morning and I go out to the farm, I'm going to see my cousin Drew, and I'm going to get to see my grandfather and my uncle and ride my horse. There's no feeling like that.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, as a veteran and a history buff, I am jealous.
I'm such a history person. Oh my goodness, there's more of me.
Yes.
I love history.
I feel like y'all are like connected in some weird way. Yeah.
I love history.
Somehow, I think he's the younger me.
I know.
I love war history.
Don't grow up.
I love American history. It's awesome. And that was the culmination of 80 years worth of history that I got to go witness.
Yeah.
We were at the cemetery at Normandy. I got to go down on the beach, and I took, I don't know if you're allowed to, but I took sand from the beach.
Oh, I would.
I gave some to my grandfather because he'd never been. He was supposed to go on the trip, fell and broke his hip like 2 months before, so he couldn't come.
Oh.
And so I brought him back some sand from Normandy, which was really cool. We were there. Our president, Biden, was over there and actually flew in on Marine One over top of me.
Really?
Which I will say was pretty cool to get to see that. There was a whole it was a convoy.
Yeah.
Presidential convoy. The entire Secret Service was there.
Wow.
Got to talk with Secret Service. They're trying to tell us to stop, and I'm like, I'm American. I'm one of you guys.
And
talk to me.
Yeah. And speaking, regardless of what your politics is, as an American, it's the coolest thing to be able just to see as far as the office.
I mean,
and what comes with
100%.
that office.
There were 3 Marine Chinooks that landed, and staff, and the presidential beast, his vehicle, it got off, and there were these guys that were definitely from some sort of organization wearing all blacked out gear got off, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then they had a F-22 escort flying over, and there were old planes flying over, tipping the wing for the great cemetery. And then both Marine Ones flew over, literally directly over my head.
Oh, wow.
Like 100 feet above me. And I was like, whoa.
That's a cool experience.
And I got to watch them land. I was like, I don't care what you think. That's
exactly,
awesome.
Yeah.
I got the best videos on my phone were from that trip.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It was so neat walking through the old German pillboxes where they had their machine guns.
Yeah.
I mean, just the feeling you get being in there it was pretty neat. I'll have to write a couple songs about that trip.
Absolutely. Yeah, the my grandpa, the same one who chased me with the monkey.
There you go.
He was in World War II, and I can't remember, and if my brother's watching, he's going to kill me. But there was a big march that went through over there, and I don't remember the name of it. But he was in the group that came through, the cleanup group that came through right after. And there's actually a Facebook group for all of those guys. And so we joined that just so that we could try to see if there's any old photos or things like that. But yeah, so to be over there would have been so cool. Just to
going to like the Battle of Normandy museum. And it's built on top of an old quarry that the England actually owned in like the 1500s. And in that quarry, the Nazis built an office in the rock, in the mountain, essentially.
Oh, wow.
And they've turned the hallways into a museum. So you're walking through it.
Really?
It made me feel weird walking through that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
the energy there would have been insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
but then also, you know, the respect. You know, I'm standing there on the beach looking up at where these pillboxes are. Not only can you barely see them, which I'm sure that it was cut down a little bit more. So
Right.
Right.
But, I mean, you're standing and you're like, man, why was it so hard to take this country back? And then you get there.
Exactly, yeah.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a cliff.
Yeah.
At a hill that you've just got to run at.
Yeah, and it's one thing to read about history in books, but when you actually step there and you physically see it and live it,
that's why
that's amazing.
That's why I love my country so much, because that's just the most American thing.
Yeah.
Just guys, that ramp drops on the boat, and it's just they knew what they had to do.
Yeah.
And we all probably would be speaking a different language today if they had to do
Oh,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
So the world would be a lot different, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, our veterans.
So July 4th, pre-save.
That's right.
July 4th has nothing to do with D-Day.
But celebrate America.
It's because of July 4th that we ended up having this whole place as is. So.
Well, it kind of is D-Day, because that's your D-Day to pre-save the
there
album.
you go.
How about that?
Exactly.
I'm catching on now, right?
There,
You got it, yeah.
Every time you mention July, you'll be like, oh, it's like July 15th. Oh, you know what you guys need to go do?
That's right.
Pre-save, even though it's already out. Go pre-save it anyway.
Right.
Well, you know, I'm DJing the ambassador's party up there, and it's going to happen, you know, doing all the patriotic stuff, and it's just going to start sliding out. Going, well, you know, tomorrow's July 4th. By the way,
Pre-save.
Pre-save.
Jurgensmeyer.
That's right.
The Ride, phase 2.
That's right.
I want to hear it in your DJ voice.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Nice.
all right, I'll record you something.
Yes, please do. Send
You know how
it
many
to me.
takes that take?
Yeah.
I get it. Trust me.
Yeah. It never fails. You have it right up here, and as soon as that,
As soon as you go to say it,
it's like
oh,
Yeah.
all of a sudden your tongue gets all tied, and you just,
oh, trust me. I'm a
Forget.
voice actor. I get it. Trust me. I understand.
you know, the question I have about that, because I always thought that'd be an interesting gig, and always something I always thought I'd be good at.
It's a lot of fun.
And really, I mean,
I was lucky to get into it very young. And then when COVID happened, it was the one thing that could keep going.
Yeah.
We spent most of COVID in our house in Missouri because we were in a small town, you know, away from everybody. We were close to my
Right.
grandparents.
Right.
And my dad built me a little recording booth in our basement. And I was on a Disney Junior show called Tots, and I was the lead character on it. I recorded probably 95% of the second season from home. The music, me singing, everything. Just would hop on Zoom
wow.
with them. I would record the entire 2 or 3 hour session on my end and then put the whole thing in a Dropbox, just the raw file, and they do what they do with it. You know, I had the mic, I had the interface, I had the equipment. And it's awesome. I mean, it's so nice. I do
Thank God for technology.
Yes, I do voiceover work for Nickelodeon now. I used to do, you know, shows for them when I was younger, and now I'm the adult voice that does the next up on Nick Jr. You're watching Bubble Guppies or whatever.
I love it.
So
speaking of which, weren't you one of the voices for Bubble Guppies?
I was. So it's really funny how hindsight in like full circle works is little me. I'm introducing little me now from when I was on a show.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm the adult voice introducing myself over 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I can record. I've recorded all of that from home. The first session to see if I could actually do the job, they had me come to a studio in LA. We happened to be out there, and they were like, "Well, just to see if he can do it, can he come out?" Sure. And then they were like, "Do you have this stuff at home?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." They were like, "All right, we'll just record it from home." I was like, "Thank you. I can stay in my gym clothes and walk around barefoot.
And I don't have to hang out in California.
I don't. I can be anywhere."
It sounds like a cool job, and guess who else has the equipment?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Man, you got to start
Hook us
doing
up.
it. There
Hook
you
us
go.
up.
There you go.
I don't know if I can
'Cause
do.
I was as a kid. I was the crazy little kid that used to run around, and I would talk in different voices.
Yep.
I
there you
swear
go.
people probably thought I was not right and everything, but I even did it.
Well, if
I
you're
even
gonna be
do
in
it
this
every once in a while
industry-
now, but
Yeah.
If you're going to be in this industry, there's a part of us that's not right. We're just like, this is a little bit off, and nobody quite knows what it is. I'm sure there's some 3-letter thing for it. There's just there's enough. We're crazy enough to do this as a job.
Right.
There you go.
I think it'd
like
be
it.
crazy just to get paid for it.
Right?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
There
So-
you go.
We're still at the working our day jobs
Okay.
Yes.
spot.
Yeah.
So
Hey, it happens.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, this is a hobby for the most part.
That's amazing.
Because we were told a long time ago, there is no money in radio. And
Here you
by
are.
golly, they were right.
Little did you know.
Right.
But that just goes to show how passionate y'all are for music and how
Yeah.
you want to just spread the message of good music and good people. And that's a really cool thing and a really special thing to do. So thank you guys for doing that, giving us all an opportunity to come out here and talk with you.
Oh, we love it. And the coolest thing, I think we're both kind of like this. You know, everybody talks about the artists that are out there filling stadiums and things like that. And I know that that's the level people aspire to get to. But I have always been one, and I think Brian has too. I would so much rather go to a small club and listen to an intimate performance where I can actually at least get within arm's reach of an artist, maybe get an autograph, maybe get to know him a little bit, or talk to him for a few minutes. Because to me, as a fan, those moments are what bring me back, not the show that you put on the stage. You know,
and for the last 2 years, that's exactly what we've done during
Yes.
during CMA Fest. We've literally we have bailed on CMA Fest and went to
Gone
some
into those
bar
bars.
and
Go to the
sat
listening
down
room,
and just
go to the Bluebird.
Yeah.
and just start listening to different perform. That's
this
where,
year we went to the Commodore.
and that's
They had
where
the
we met.
songwriting
I
thing,
played
yeah.
the Commodore a bunch.
Yeah, and that's where we met groups like American Blonde and
Yep.
go.
and there was several artists. Kirsty Krause was there because Kirsty's a friend of ours, and we got to meet a lot of those people. So last 2 years we have done that.
We do some
And-
CMA Fest, and then we do a lot of the little
So-
clubs.
You know,
yeah.
I think I know there's people that's what they aspire to do, and it's a great goal to have, and I'm definitely on that list of people that would love to sell out Nissan Stadium.
Yeah.
But I think, including myself, if you took majority of us, if we could sit in this room and just pack it full with as many people as you can squeeze sardines in here with a chair in
Right.
the corner for me and a guitar, we all have that storyteller in us that just want to tell the story of the
Yes.
song, talk about the song we wrote, perform the song we wrote in a way. If you get me performing all these songs that I've played tonight and that I'm going to play, with my acoustic, it's going to sound a whole lot different than it does with the full band, and it's going to
Yeah.
sound on the album. And that's because you're getting the most real, authentic version of it.
Absolutely.
And so I think I think most performers and artists, including myself, actually prefer that as well.
Yeah.
There's no money in that. So
We understand,
Like
yeah.
you said, you've got to, but you do always, there's things that we all have goals. And
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would love to perform at Nissan and the Opry and places like
Yeah,
that because
yeah.
that's, where I grew up going.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. Like I say, he's perfect for the coastal world
Yeah.
because that's what happens. For an example, there's people that it's their home. They may have a nice deck out back or whatever, and most of them, what they'll do is charge $20 a head. Come in, they give the money to the artist, and then people will sit there and they're there to listen to the artist, listen to the music,
Yeah.
hear the stories.
I mean, how
and that's
cool-
what it's all about.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to have Vince Gill just come sit in your living room
Oh,
and
could
play
you
for a living
imagine?
room full of people? I mean,
Wow.
everybody would say yes to that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I will say, going to see like Cody Johnson and Tyler Childers got some of the best bands I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Tyler Childers' band was absolutely phenomenal. They were so good. Cody Johnson's band, so good. George Strait's band, Ace in the Hole, the all-star
Yeah,
of
yeah.
country music bands. So who wouldn't pay to go see them?
Absolutely.
Well, as you can tell, I am a Kojo fan.
There you
Obviously,
go.
we opened the show with it.
Yes.
And that was the funny thing is, when we started opening the show, he was still an independent artist.
Yeah.
When we started opening the show with that, and then
There
all
you
of a
go.
sudden, he just blew up.
He did it right. And I remember the first time I ever saw him was he was opening for Miranda Lambert at Bridgestone.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, who's this Cody Johnson guy? And then
Yep.
he's become Kojo.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the artists that we have. So the reason I was telling that story about, we would rather go to a small club is we love bringing, folks like you in here so we can hear those stories behind the music. And it's not as hard now as it used to be, but to get those independent artists like yourself on mainstream radio is really
It
difficult.
is a difficult thing. I mean, there's a lot of money that gets involved in it. And
Yes.
so when I thanked you guys, I was being genuine because
Yeah.
it shows like this that, coming to and doing that are the way that people get to hear my name and hear my music and become interested. And I know that the independent radio kind of scene is what eventually builds my career. That's what it's literally every stepping stone builds a career, and spending those long hours in the car driving to do a radio tour, it's all worth it, because everybody has to do it at some point in their career.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
And if you don't, you did it a different way. Isn't. Come on, guys. You gotta spend those hours in the car. Eating gas station snacks, and on the way here, I had a Monster Energy coffee in a can. It's probably terrible for me. It took at least 4 months off of my life. But hey, tell you what,
only live once.
You only live once, and it was good. So
There you go. Well, you're talking to a Mountain Dew fanatic, so I'm with you.
there's got to be like 70 grams of sugar in that can of coffee. But hey.
Well, while you're still hyped up, can we hear another song?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I'll tell you all a little bit about it as well.
Yeah.
This is my current radio single. This one's called Good Days.
Such a good song.
Thank you. I wrote it with my awesome friend, Drew Rizzuto. It was our first time writing together. We'd never written together before. We sat down, and about 15 minutes before he showed up at my house, I was like, man, I have zero ideas for this guy. And so I sat down, I started playing the simplest chord progression, G, C, E minor, D, 1, 4, 6, 5, for all my musicians out there. And just kind of hummed him, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. And he got there 15 minutes later. I sang the first thing that came to mind, and he was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. And we had no idea where the song was going to go, where it was going to land. The first thing I hummed was the verse. So we didn't have a chorus. We didn't have a hook or a title or nothing. Terrible idea.
Right.
Terrible songwriting. And we ended up writing Good Days. And I always tell people this is an upbeat heartbreak song. Don't let the title fool you. It is about getting lost in the good days of a bad relationship. And so that's how we wrote this song.
That's cool.
Thank you. Which
Been there, done that.
I don't know where that storytelling came from, because the way we started writing this song, we were like, I don't know where it's going to go. Let's just see what happens. And then we were both like, man, we can relate to this. Let's do it. So this is Good Days. Why you never wanna run away, run with me, baby, till we find a better place. Always telling me you wanna go, but you're scared of things that change your perfect halo. Yeah. I'm here every time, same thing, but I don't mind. Put me through hell, but I'm always crawling back to the lies. Heartbreak to you ain't the same. Something about you and the pain gives me a high and makes me look back to all the ways I got lost in the good days. Your ego's pulling me in, at it again, like a drug stealing my blood, but it never ends. Like we're stuck in a frame, perfect through pain, always the same, but with some medicine. Well, we can make it work. I'm here every time, same thing, but I don't mind. Put me through hell, but I'm always crawling back to the lies. Heartbreak to you ain't the same. Something about you and the pain gives me a high and makes me look back to all the ways I got lost in the good days. Got lost in the good days. Was it broken from the start? Was it written in the stars? Were we made for broken hearts before you tore me apart? I'm here every time, same thing, but I don't mind. Put me through hell, but I'm always crawling back to the lies. Heartbreak to you ain't the same. Something about you and the pain gives me a high and makes me look back to all the ways I got lost in the good days. I got lost in the good days. Why you never wanna run away, run with me, baby, till we find a better place.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
I love it.
There's another one off the coming album.
And you said that's your current single, right?
Yes, ma'am. That
Yep.
one. That's the one that's getting played on the radio in Europe, and we get the email every week. It's like the update, and it's going up the charts in Europe and here, and it's just
And also here on Tiki Man Radio.
Thank you.
That's
so much.
right.
Yeah.
It's so surreal, and it's a really cool feeling.
Yeah. I bet. I remember. Matt and I experienced that where we got notification that he was like #1 in New Zealand or something, and we were like, "Somebody's listening over there."
Yeah, when you get that list, I think I saw the other day it was a country that I'd never imagined. It was either New Zealand or like Denmark, or it was something.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I mean, if you guys want me to come over there, I guess I will. That'd be pretty cool.
Right.
It's just you don't realize it until you get those emails and you get to see the chart, and then it's like, oh, you went up 2 spots on the chart. Oh, well,
Yeah.
this week we went up like 8. No, this week we went up 3 more, and just constantly doing that. Good Days is my fastest growing single. It's getting put on. When it came out, it was put on Spotify and Apple playlists. It had never been on before. The one we put out right before it, All I Need. Same thing. It was instantly, and that wasn't even one that we were putting on the radio. Put on Spotify and Apple playlists like Hot New Country and things like that. Things that I'd never been on before. And it was like, whoa, oh, okay, so it's happening.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
And it's going to keep happening. I have no doubt.
Gosh, I've just been waiting for so long to put this album out because I want people to hear it so badly because I'm so proud of it. It's so cool. It turned out so well. Every song is just so special to me. And then I have stuff already lined up to release after the album. So
How cool is that?
we got a whole bunch of things in the works.
Wow.
That's cool.
Do you ever slow down?
Like that vacation over to Europe was pretty cool. I still took a
That sounded like that was work, though.
I took a guitar.
Did you?
I did because I don't really go very long without playing the guitar. I bought my mom a guitar for her birthday. And I've actually been playing it a bunch because it's a new toy. I got to test it and break it in.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm always playing and working, and I think that's just the work ethic that my family instilled in me from a very young age. Jurgensmeyers don't do too well just sitting idle. Whether it's getting up early, going to bed early, going to the gym, working on the farm, working on your craft, handling any form of business, it's just constantly going. I ran in September. I ran for September or July, somewhere in there. I ran for the board of directors for SAG-AFTRA, which is our union, the Screen Actors Guild, for the Nashville local office, and I was
cool.
elected. And I'm the youngest board member.
Wow.
I believe in the country. So that's kind of cool. So that
Yeah.
was another thing to kind of add on to there. And,
In your spare time.
yeah, it's fun. I like keeping myself busy. It keeps me out of trouble. I don't party. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm what a lot of people my age would call the lame one. But
That's what my daughter calls herself. Yeah.
I like to think that the lame one is the one that gets to kick back in 20 years and watch everybody else that wasn't quote
Exactly. Yeah.
Have to work hard
and it's
and
funny
catch
that
up.
you say that because we were talking last week. Mark Mulch was our in studio guest, and
Do
Mark,
you know Mark at all?
I know the name.
he singer songwriter. He's from right there in
I just
Nashville.
don't know him personally.
Right there in Nashville and everything. But we was talking about his connections with Bon Jovi and all of that, and we was talking about the documentary. And there was a line there in the documentary where it talked about the keyboardist, and they talked about where they were out partying all night. And they were dragging their butts in at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And there's John. He's leaving the hotel, getting ready to go do a radio interview here, a radio interview there. And they said, for the longest time, he says, John was the boring one because we went out and partied, and he went back to the hotel
He
room.
was the
and,
one busting
and he's just either prepped for an interview, we got some sleep, rest, vocal rest. He goes, he was the boring one.
And you know what?
40 years later, he's celebrating.
Exactly, yeah.
He's reaped what he sowed.
Yeah.
That work
Absolutely.
ethic has paid off, and you see that through everybody that really puts the time in, and then there's the people that have to constantly keep working and try to essentially catch up.
Right.
I was obviously not everybody is as fortunate as me to start off so young. but you can't fake a work ethic.
Right.
And so
Exactly, yeah, there's
so
a lot of-
no matter how young you start.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I was thinking about that earlier. So many child actors, or, as they grow up, they start doing the wild, crazy partying and that kind of life. And you have stayed so grounded.
And I only surround myself with people that are that same way, because I think we should all be trying to make each other better. If you're a true
Absolutely.
friend, you'll call them out when they do something wrong. You'll tell them, you'll give them advice when they don't want to hear it.
Absolutely.
And you'll be the one that they can count on, because it's always the one. It's not the ones that you go have the most fun with at a party. It's the ones that are there for you when you're in a pinch.
Absolutely.
And let's also give credit where credit's due. Mom and Dad did a great job.
Absolutely.
you go.
That's what I was just
So,
thinking too.
you gotta give
Sitting
Mom and
out
Dad
there
credit.
You had the good
Absolutely.
mom and dad, yeah, and they're here with you tonight, and they are fabulous people. I've already told them they can come. Don't even have to be on the show if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Just come hang out.
There you go.
They are so much fun.
We got a pool up there.
That's
Oh,
right.
we'll come down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, your parents have done an amazing job at that. And for you, you've got such a level head on your shoulder. And I'm going to sound like an old lady now, but you have such a level head on your shoulders, and you really are looking at things the right way and surrounding yourself with good people. And I know success in whatever form that is for you, because to me, success is different for every person.
100%.
Yes.
I say that all the time.
Do
People
you?
ask me, like, how do you define that? And I'm like, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody sees it differently. Everybody has different goals. And, the way I see it might be the way is completely different from the way somebody else that's sitting right next to me might.
Yeah.
But like that whole, trying to make each other better. Like one of my best friends, my guitar player, Jack, he and I became best friends. He lived across the hall from me first semester at school. We became friends. We were both always playing guitar, so we just hang out and play. He is 1,000 times better than me at guitar. I'm not a guitar player. He's 1,000 times better than me. But watching how good he was at my age made me want to be better.
Yep.
And so then guitar was always in my hands. I was always practicing. It doesn't matter, if you go to the gym on campus, you see the same people in the gym. It's like, okay, that guy's big. If I want to get to where I feel good about myself, then I got to put the time in, because he put the time in. And it's that slight motivation of surrounding yourself with people like that, people that have good work ethics.
And that's such a good way to look at it, because there's so many people that would look at it the opposite and go, he's always playing guitar and he thinks he's so good. And, or go to the gym and be like, oh, that guy's a bodybuilder. Yeah, I'm never going to be like that. I'm going home.
Or he just worked really hard. And
Thank you. Yeah.
He just put time in. Things don't happen easily. People always ask me for advice for young actors and musicians. You're going to hear the word no a lot more than you hear yes.
Yeah.
A lot more. Get used to hearing no, and you're not good enough, and you're
not
not right
take
for
it
this
so
role.
personally and let it tear you down.
I always say it's the lows that make the highs feel so much better, because when that work finally pays off, it's like, oh, this is what it's like when I really put that extra 30 minutes in. Isn't there a thing, if you spend an hour a day for like a month straight, you become better than like 98% on whatever it was you were spending an hour doing?
That would make sense, yeah.
So if you want to get better at guitar, you spend an hour a day on it for 30 days or something like that, you become better than like 98% of the world at whatever that thing is.
Wow.
So, yeah. There's a saying like that, because people don't put that much time in. If you think about it, if you just focus for one straight hour, a lot of times you get distracted. 20 minutes in, I'll go do this. Let me go like swap the laundry, put the laundry in the dryer. Let me go fold this.
Yeah.
Let me go do that. Just do it for an hour.
Or let me see if I have a text. Let me see if I
and then
have
you get just somehow you land on TikTok for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Guilty.
Man, I'm really good. You're better than 98% of the world at doing this.
Exactly right.
This
Yeah.
for an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I'm 98% better at finding a good video to laugh at than
There you
anybody
go.
else. Yeah.
I will say those are some of the best things ever.
Well,
I always send them to people.
Well, and I did for the longest time, because I was probably late to the game on TikTok, but when I finally did find it,
I was way late. Yeah.
I was way late too.
I was always on there. I'm looking at artists and different things. And I did 2 or 3 shows on I called TikTok Talent.
There you go.
And I was just highlighting musicians I was finding on TikTok, and it's like, these guys are fantastic.
I never posted enough on TikTok, and then the social media team's always like, post on TikTok, and my mom's like, Jet, post on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't like TikTok. Like, post on it. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll post on it. And now I try to do a post or 2 a week and just keep people somewhat interested, because TikTok is a big part of your career nowadays, which for me is I hate social media. Yeah, and I wish that it was all just like, if we could go back to like the 50s where it was like Johnny Cash traveling around, or like the Beatles, to become as huge as the Beatles without social media.
Right.
Isn't that crazy to think how that
like
was?
Elvis. If we could just go back to that, guys, oh my gosh, and have that appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
Wow.
Yes.
You're definitely kind of an old soul, aren't you?
100%. I get called that quite a bit.
I love it.
I think it's because I grew up in a very adult industry, and only child, so I was always around adults.
But sensible
like
adults.
Exactly.
Not the crazy adults.
I will say, I've definitely had my fair share around crazy adults. And
I'm sure,
I think I learned a lot from them too. Mostly what not to do, but I definitely learned from them, because everything happens for a reason, and you can learn from everything.
That is awesome.
I love it.
I'm going to tell you what, this has been the fastest 2 hours I think we've ever had on this show.
Oh, I know. We
just
need at least one more song before he goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not going to end it yet.
Okay, good.
So,
Do you want me to play another one right now?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did tell you that, this could be one of those nights where we just log off the radio and just keep going. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Alrighty, so I've been playing stuff that's on the album, but I feel like I have to leave something up to the imagination for people, because there's already 4 songs that I've released that are going to be on the album, and I played one that's unreleased, 2 that are unreleased from the album. So I'm just going to play one that's not even on the album. This is one that I do want to put out eventually.
Okay.
I wrote this one with Erica. You're going to hear her name and see her name on a lot of my stuff. She's one of my best friends. She and I host our podcast together. She's awesome. And so we write a lot together. And I brought her this idea, and it's quickly become one of my favorite songs.
Cool.
Wanna see Lincoln sunrise, bring out the green in your eyes, from a field that nobody knows. Back road right through a map dot, hair down, shotgun, jackpot, kind of spark I ain't afraid to hold. Cause when it comes to love, it all comes down to us. Couple of hearts on fire, honey, it's because when I think of you, my mind's running wild. To a tailgate view, the sky is lighting up your smile. Show you what I mean, lay back in the bed, let you shine on me like a Midwest sunset. Hold you till the stars start shining, world falls away and I'm in heaven every time that I'm with you. Cause when it comes to love, it all comes down to us. Couple of hearts on fire, honey, it's because when I think of you, my mind's running wild. To a tailgate view, the sky is lighting up your smile. Show you what I mean, lay back in the bed, let you shine on me like a Midwest sunset. Whoa. You know what I need, and right where I belong. You're everything I see. Honey, it's because when I think of you, my mind's running wild. To a tailgate view, the sky is lighting up your smile. I'll show you what I mean. I'll lay back in the bed, let you shine on me like a Midwest sunset. Whoa, like a Midwest sunset.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Everybody on the chat is absolutely loving it, and your name is officially J Cube, by the way.
Okay. All right.
Everybody's like, "Great job, J Cube! Loving this song, J Cube." Yeah.
There we go. I'm
So
glad.
J Cube.
That's how
you now.
it happens.
It'll catch on.
So-
You know, I actually, I didn't even realize this. So I'm not the baby in my family. I have one younger cousin. There's 12 of us grandkids on my dad's side. I'm the second youngest. But apparently, my nickname until I was like 13 was Baby Jet.
Oh.
And I'm so glad that didn't stick for the rest of my life. Because I am the shortest. My little cousin Ben
Really?
is like 6'1" or something. He's stupid tall and annoying.
Wow.
He's got such a low voice. He thinks he's all grown up now. He's not even 17 yet. I'm like, you be quiet. You shut up. But he's, I was like, why wasn't it Baby Ben? That makes way more sense.
Right?
BB.
Right?
And they're like, no, it's Baby Jet. I was like, all right.
Well, now you can tell them all it's J Cube.
Yeah. That is awesome.
There you go.
You're official.
Well,
Yes,
before
ma'am.
we wrap anything up, I need to make sure that we let everybody know what is going on here at Tiki Man Radio for the rest of the week.
Here's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Sundays, it's The Big Show. Sunday mornings with the Tiki Man starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Island Time. Streaming live on the Island J live cam from the Chocolate Bar Studios in Harrison Bay. Come over and be part of the show. After The Big Show, it's Tuesday on the Island Replay with B-Man and Michelle. Recorded live from Key West. Later that afternoon, it's 5 o'clock somewhere with Rick the Stick. You never know where he's going to pop up. On the Road with Rick the Stick, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Island Time every Sunday. Mondays from 6 to 8 p.m., get on the Peace Train with Ed the Train Man, live from Crown Point, Indiana. Wednesdays, it's Where the Boots Meet the Beach with Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou, streaming live on the MFG Tropical Live Cam from the Legends Studio in Ottawa, Tennessee, from 7 to 9 p.m. Make sure you catch the Friday kickoff with Jen Shen from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Friday. Jen kicks off the weekend and tells you all the activities coming up on Tiki Man Radio and spotlights all of our sponsors. That's a Friday kickoff with Jen Shen every Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Friday starting at 8 p.m. It's Coastal Confessions with B-Man and Michelle from the Beachy Shell Studios in Key West, live every Friday, having some fun with their friends and sharing great music. Saturdays, take a trip back in time with Jukebox Saturday mornings starting at midnight and going to noon. This is where we open up the massive archives of the radio station and take you back to that old shaggin' music. That's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Make sure you tune into all these great shows and keep listening to Tiki Man Radio and have some fun.
That's right. Have some fun for Crominetly. So that's what we like to do around here. We
some
like
fun.
to have some fun.
I think we had some fun tonight.
I think we did.
I'll
Absolutely.
have to come back and maybe not wait over a year.
Please come back anytime for real.
You are absolutely welcome
You
anytime.
Your mom has my cell number now.
Oh boy.
So y'all just call.
Don't
and-
threaten us. Don't threaten us with
telling
a
you.
good time. We'll come on
Listen,
down.
I fed them. I gave them beer. Well, not Jet, but I gave the parents beer.
Tell you what though, this water was phenomenal. And you had good fruit.
I
You
did
had
have-
good fresh fruit out there.
That's right. So, I do what I can to get you back.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
We was getting everything. I'm like, whatever you do, don't offer him a beer. He's 19 for crying out loud.
Yeah,
I am 19.
because I would have offered.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of 19-year-olds that would have accepted it.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
probably.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm not one of them. I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah. As you can see, my fridge is stocked from anything from Pepsi to Mountain Dew, green tea to energy drinks. So
And beer.
I got
We're ready
something
to
for
go.
everybody, and I got beer too. But
Hey, every now and again.
every once in a while, don't hurt nobody.
That's right.
It's good for the kidneys.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
That's-
yeah.
that's what I say.
I think, it's
Yeah.
a cure for a lot of things, right?
It is.
Beer.
So
Yeah.
There you go.
that's what I say. Somebody who has previously suffered from kidney stones and had to have surgery and all that. That's what I always
Beer.
say. I'm taking my medicine.
I got to witness my cousin have kidney stones.
Oh.
And
It's
I felt
awful.
sorry for him, but he bullied me a lot growing up. Like always picked on me because I was so much smaller
So
than him.
you said karma,
and
didn't
like
you?
18 years younger or 20 years younger than him. So I was like, huh, that was funny. So I had a good time watching him have it, but he did not have a good time.
I will tell you, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
No,
ever. It was horrible.
He's a very tough guy, and I watched him about cry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't want that.
No.
They say that kidney stones for a man is the closest to labor.
That's what the doctor
Yeah.
told him.
Well, I will tell
Yeah.
you a couple of things if you want to avoid it. Drink lots of water, and let up on your red meat.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
well, that's a problem.
That's why I said it.
You're still young though.
yeah, you got years.
I love that the people listening don't know, other than my parents and probably my girlfriend, because I always send them all pictures, and my parents
Yeah.
are there with all my food. For the people that don't know, I ate an entire venison backstrap by myself last night. And if you don't know how big that is, it was about this long and about that thick. And I ate the entire thing.
And I'm still upset with the fact that you're not bloated or anything like that. I
Yeah.
would still be in misery.
I feel great. I was ready to run through a wall after I ate that. I've never felt more American ever. Oh.
Speaking of American, you can
love it.
pre-save the Jets' new album on July 4th.
You've got him trained just like that.
What am I even here for anymore, guys? I've said what I need to say.
That's right. You've now trained him right.
Well, before you go, let's remind everybody, where they can
Absolutely.
get all your information, where they can come see you, if they want to buy the merch and all that good stuff.
So if you want to follow me on social media, everything from my TikTok to my Facebook to my not Twitter, my X to Instagram's all just under my name, Jet Jurgensmeyer, Jet with one T like a plane. If you type a J, maybe a UR after for Jurgensmeyer, I will pop up. There's not a bunch of us out there. So you don't have to memorize all 12 letters. And then my website's just under my name, Jet Jurgensmeyer as well. It's where you can see my tour dates, places I'm going to be playing, things like that. Find out new music, watch some music videos, go to my YouTube, same thing. And then if you would like to listen to my music, it's on every streaming platform, anywhere you buy or listen to music under Jet Jurgensmeyer. And July 12th, the album comes out. Pre-save July 4th.
Nice.
And the name of the album one more time.
The Ride, Phase 2.
The Ride Phase 2,
I
July
love it.
4th, pre-save. Comes out July 12th.
I love it. Now, do you have any acting projects we should be looking out for?
A couple of things that I've auditioned for recently that I hope work out. Maybe I'll be able to talk about them. Right now, though, it's doing this radio tour over the summer, starting the actual tour next month, and the album. Just putting my whole heart and soul into that, getting it out there. And then August, move back into campus and start school again
yeah.
while I'm
back
still
to
promoting.
school.
Oh,
Yeah.
so fun. Yay.
You only got, what, a couple more years?
3.
3?
So, yeah. We'll see.
To do everything that you're doing and still be a full-time college student.
Very important for my family.
Oh my gosh,
Go to college.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed, and
you.
like I said, you have accomplished more in your short 19 years than most people will do in their entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And you're just getting started, and I'm excited to see where everything is going to go for you.
Thank you.
And I tell you, I think everything is going but up. You
Thank you so much.
love your music.
Yeah.
We will continue to be playing it because it's just that damn
That means
good.
the world to me. Thank you so
And we want to thank you.
And we will pre-save it on July 4th.
And we will
you
be
go.
pre-saving on July 4th. That's absolutely.
And you're going to rep your Jet Jurgensmeyer hats and shirts and hoodies.
Absolutely.
You betcha.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You betcha. I may even do a TikTok wearing that stuff.
Well, there you
telling
go.
everybody. How about
Look
that?
at that.
Just
Free
like that.
publicity.
And we'll tag you in it. How about that?
Oh, my goodness. Stop it.
And here's the thing, if anybody ever goes to my TikTok, they'll find out that I have not done all my TikToks are, the little promo that I sent you that
Yes,
was
sir.
doing. That is my TikToks. Is that promo with your music?
Yep.
That's it.
Well, there you
That's
go.
my entire TikTok. I've never appeared on video in one of TikToks.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But he's going to just for
now
you.
you're going to.
And it's probably because I can't figure the whole thing out.
Oh, I can't
So
either.
it's just easy to just post a picture and add music to it. I figured that part
So
out,
much
so
easier.
we'll live with it. Yeah.
So much easier. You have 6 daughters. I bet you can figure it out.
So one of them will show him.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Because I think
maybe.
they all make and share TikToks.
Well, then there you go.
I'm at the point in time I almost have to have them tell me how to operate the the Roku remote now. I mean, come on.
It happens. It happens every now and again.
That's why we tell everybody, the joke was we're back here flying a plane. It almost feels like it sometimes because
All the buttons.
because
and
we got
order-
Yeah.
Yep.
we got radio over on this side, we got YouTube on this side, and trying to do both at the same time.
The mixing board and making sure the
So-
mics are muted
Yeah,
so we don't
yeah.
get canceled.
Right,
All of the
exactly.
things, all the important stuff,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
laugh track and the clap track and all the different sound effects back there. All
And
the stuff.
I just get to sit over
Yeah.
here and
Yeah,
chat.
and speaking of all
got
that,
the easy part.
podcast. Where can we hear your podcast? And what
Absolutely.
is it?
So right now our podcast is on Spotify. We started it back in 2022. Put out quite a few episodes. Also, apparently I say too funny because I say two. I was working
You're
yesterday.
Southern. It's okay.
I was working yesterday for Lifeway, and I'm one of their actors. And the director started laughing because I said verse 2, and the way I said 2, she started laughing and it ruined the take. It was a whole thing. But we started in 2022 and took a break over 2023, starting it up back again at the end of July, and we putting some more episodes out August. And then every week we'll be doing an episode. So everybody can go check it out. It's called Soundproofed. It's on, so we have our Instagram, soundproof_podcast. Go listen to it. Follow myself, follow Erica, and listen to us.
And
just
what's Erica's last name again?
Latza.
Erica
Latza.
Okay.
all right.
Erica Latza. Erica with 2 C's. Jet with 1 T.
I like that.
Thank you. I've said
All
it
right.
before.
All right. Anything else before we decide
No.
we're going to wrap things up for the night?
No, I just want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming.
having
This
me.
has been
Thank you so much.
So
Absolutely.
much fun. And for real, you guys are welcome anytime.
Amazing.
Just give us a holler and say, hey, passing through Chattanooga, I'm going to come hang out.
Thank
And
y'all. Absolutely.
We will
We'll
love
do
it.
it. We'll make it
We'll
happen.
love it. All right.
Awesome. And of course, we have to thank our sponsors, JBL Travel Group and GTS Charters and Outfitters down in Key West, as well as Party Dog Entertainment, which is mwah. And also MFG Records Tropical for sponsoring our live cam here every Wednesday night. And of course, we have to thank you because without you, we wouldn't have a show because if nobody was listening, I'm pretty sure they'd yank us off the air someplace.
Absolutely.
So we got to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in over on the YouTube and the
Yes.
chat and all the questions and comments. And we appreciate everything that y'all do out there for us.
That's right.
So, coming up our next week, we will be on a remote location.
On location at the BAR.
At the BAR, that would be the Ambassador and Bodyguard Retreat. And or the Bodyguard and Ambassador Retreat. Yeah, let's get it right. BAR. And, of course, we're going to be celebrating 4th of July and also pre-saving Jet Jurgenson's new album on July
Jet
4th.
Jurgensmeyer.
Meyer.
It's okay.
He's
It's
talking
all
too
right.
fast now.
Your hat says it so everybody can figure it out.
Oh,
It's
there
all
you
right.
go.
Yeah, Jurgensmeyer. Yeah.
That's right. You know what?
Yeah.
Where did my...
Hold on.
I was... Yeah, hold up the shirt
hold
because I
on.
wanted to show everybody what it looks like. I'm
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Jet.
at that goodness.
Jet.
Hold up the coffee mug. Coffee
Oh,
mug.
yeah,
Hold
coffee
it up.
mug.
Hold up the koozie. The koozie
Next.
next. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that goodness.
And where could they get the merch?
I don't actually think that stuff is out there for people to get yet. So you guys are special. And the koozies are my favorite color, guys. The koozies are orange,
Hunter
the best color in
orange.
the world.
I love orange.
Orange and camouflage, and then red, white, and blue.
That's right.
Awesome.
Best colors ever.
And before you go, we need to make sure because we started a tradition since, like I said, you are
Yes.
only the second in-studio artist that we've
Okay.
had here at Legend Studio.
Alrighty.
But before you go, we're going to have you sign our banner.
Let's do it.
So
Yes.
we'll have you do that. And
We'll get a couple pictures.
yep. And I may, because the only opportunity I'm ever going to have is after we sign off the air on YouTube and everything, we'll go back and see if I can record a
Oh, yeah.
a
We
voice
do a
shout-out.
shout out
Some
for our
liners.
show.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
You know,
Next up on Tiki Man Radio.
I love it.
well, we're going to leave you all now, and we're going to. I think we're just going to continue to have
We
a
have some
party
fun
after,
to have, yeah.
after you guys are gone. But, for us, that's going to be it. We will see you right here next week. Next week will be radio only, so make sure you tune in. It's last song, last call, right here. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I know it's been a lot of fun, but the set list is all done. The night was very loud and you've been a good crowd, but you know it's time to run. You've all been very kind, thank you for your time. You put me to the test as I try to address all of your requests for the night. As we look to the moon and the manager's protocol. Well, I don't ever want to end, but for now, my friends, last song, last call. A spirit with his clientele, and the drinks are flowing well. A beer sent from the bar and a healthy tip jar. Handsome tunes that I can sell. It's been a cool room, but it's ending too soon. And they remember to tip the bartender as they surrender to the tab. And they lip sync to the lyrics that they used to recall. Anytime I gotta say those words, oh no, last song, last call. Some came as ones and left by twos. Some still are dancing in their shoes. I break down the gear as we wind it up here. After the last song that I choose, it's the last rhyme near closing time. The final round poured as I strung the last chords, and the guitar returns to the case. Needless to say, it was a pleasure to play for you all. Here's to toast to everyone